foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash.
Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And we are here once again. All right, we're just gonna go right into it. You already see the signs of the times. With all this talk about famine, food shortages, the economic downfall that's going on right now. Okay, and as all these things are coming, the scriptures say that yet they repented not of their. Oh, that's not Revelation. It's yet will they not in second Esdras turn back from their ways. Even though evils are growing upon the face of the earth, people are still not taking heed to that. And it's interesting because it's like the same thing years. What did Yahushua say? In the book of Luke, it says that they did eat and drink and marry and give in marriage. Just live life like everything was normal up until the destruction came. All right, so whatever you got, we'll go right into it. Like you mentioned about the baby formula shortage.
Yep. Yeah, so it's getting to that point where the famines are becoming a real thing. You go into different parts of the country, all right, most people are tapped out, and a biggest form of famine is people's personal bank accounts, man. When you physically are having a harder time to make your rent or to put food on the table and so on and so forth, that is the biggest form of famine, man. Okay, and when you go into that word famine, before we tap into the prophecies, all right, when you look up the word famine on the online etymology dictionary, it says here, famine, starvation. And that's what a lot of people are about to start feeling soon, starvation, man. All right, right now it's starting, but it's not on a grand scale like how it's gonna be very soon. Starvation will be the norm in America very soon and around the world because it's being done by design. And they're starting with the babies, man. All right, scripture says what? Well, woe unto you that give suck in those days, man. Okay, it says what? From Latin, famina, which means what? Hunger, starvation, okay? Or what? Something, dearth, or shortage. Dearth or a shortage, man. And that's all you've been hearing. Shortages in this, there's a shortage in that. That is famine, man. Right. And they're using the word, they might not say famine, okay? But if you know the prophecies, these are the signs of famines. Right. Okay, so let's get this. There's a book of Second Esdras. All right, chapter 15.
And that's a very heavy book. The book of Second Esdras, really the whole book of Second Esdras and First Esdras, but mainly the 15th, 16th, and 13th chapters. They're very, very heavy because they cover a good length of the prophecies, the major prophecies. Here it is, they're getting ready to come. They're setting up a siege on America and really the world. Exactly. And he's gonna come down with a rap.
Yep.
And you got people walking around like everything is gonna be all sweet. Like when Yahushua saw it, he looked upon the city and he wept. And he said, if you knew what belongeth unto thy peace. Because Jake didn't understand what was about to happen. And even after he warned them, when they came, only some of them listened. And some of them got caught up in that time. And we've been warning for years and years and years. And now it's happening, but even as it's happening, Jake is just going about like everything is all sweet.
It's like that in every movie, man. In every movie, in every story, you have some type of warning before some type of coming danger, but only very few listen and they're saved, and then the rest are destroyed. And you always notice there's always more people who get messed up than those who get saved, man.
Like 2012.
So like the movie 2012, yep. You got a precept? Bring it up.
This is Matthew 24:19. And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days.
Now, ultimately, he was referring to 70 AD, but we can also apply that now. Because why was the Lord saying, woe unto them that give suck in those days? Because that time was going to be a time of great tribulation. A siege was coming, and they were going to not have food, and everything. Look, in a normal life, when women are pregnant, it's a harder time for them. So it's going to be even harder when all hell is breaking loose to try and move around when you're either pregnant or you have a child. So the Lord was warning them for that time, but it also applies now because this time is also going to be hard. As a matter of fact, this time is going to be harder than then. So even, That's it. So even more woe onto them now. And as you can see, they're telling you about these shortage of baby formulas. Look, when we were kids, man, there wasn't no, you weren't drinking no baby formula. You either get breastfed or they actually made like little porridges and little kinds of food to actually feed us as children. These people don't know how to do that. They're so reliant on it that, oh, I don't want my breast to sag, I don't want this. So now that that source is gone, what are you gonna do? You're gonna starve your babies?
Just to go off of that baby formula is actually bad for the children. It causes so many different like diseases and mental illnesses and all these different things that messes up the babies anyway. So to be honest, I don't even know why people are even giving this to their babies, because it's a drug. It really has drugs in there and chemicals and crazy shit.
And Judge Saki, what did she say? Somebody asked her, so with all this inflation and the lack of baby food, what do we do? She said, well, look, you go see your doctor if your child is having any problems, man. That's what she said. You know, go see your doctor, your physician, all right, concerning problems with your children, man. So that's showing you, all right, we're gonna be in 2022, all right, AD.
Right.
You had 70 AD, now you're gonna have 2022 AD.
That's right.
All right, it's 2022 AD, and it's gonna be a time like never before, man. And all the signs are pointed to that.
That's right.
All right, this is global, man.
Yeah.
All right, that siege that's coming, like the brother pointed out, like you broke down. All right, women are gonna be at a very big disadvantage because this society has put you on such a pedestal that once that thing is taken off of you, you're gonna be messed up even more.
Yeah, they're a target now.
The target, yep. You know,
They put a lot of targets on their back, and now it's gonna come for them. The thing that women don't think about is you want to be known so bad. You want to be on OnlyFans. Don't you know that people know your face? People know what your body looks like. So when that time comes, there's people who are fiending that are like, yo, I know this shit. Isn't that such and such? You know what I'm saying? Yo, that's Cardi B. Yo, grab her. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Grab her up.
Yep.
Now she's trying to run this shit out. What is that?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
What is that?
Yep. You're gonna see Cardi B in the streets, you know, asking for change, begging for change. That's how bad it's about to get out here. We used to say that. Remember, Gabar used to say that? Like, all these women out here with the fat asses passing by, your cheeks gonna be food, man.
And the
You know?
the flip-flops.
The
and
flip-flops.
shit. Sandals.
Yep.
Where they go
You know,
about, yeah.
you try to protect your food. You and the food gonna be food.
Yeah.
You know, that's how that goes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, precept that.
Wisdom of Solomon, the second chapter. For the ungodly said, reasoning with themselves, but not aright. Our life is short and tedious, and in the death of man there is no remedy. Neither was there any man known to have returned from the grave.
There you go. So that's that YOLO mindset, and that's right. And that's the mindset that Esau pushes because the earth is given into his hand. That's the vibration that they push on the earth. So a lot of people walk around saying, look, you got to make the best of it. There ain't nothing after this. You got to just like do what you got to do now. They don't realize that we're working for what's to come after. That's why we're sacrificing now. So a lot of people are so invested in their current life, you know, oh, I can't work, I can't do this, I can't I can't reach this part in my career. It's not about that. Because Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, tells you that all that is gonna be gone. Like when a bird flies through the sky and cuts through the wind and the wind closes back up, you can't trace it. You know, or when a ship is on water and it's cutting through the water, you can't trace it. Just like that, when this place gets destroyed, it's going to be untraceable what was here. So you're putting in work for no reason. It's not going to benefit you. And if you stay with the world, you're going to die with the world. And that's what people are getting ready to see. All these people, man, if they don't repent, and if they're not a part of the elect, they're going to starve to death. They're going to probably get shot. Whatever may come their way, all judgment in all forms is coming. You know, and they walk around like they don't have a care in the world, and yet, as we are speaking right now, famines are getting worse. You know, pestilence are brewing. They're getting ready to change the whole system, collapse this economy, and turn this place into a third world country, and declare martial law.
Video that you did, that lady, she said we're fast approaching that digital currency, man. She said we're already there. You know, you got 2 years, 5 years, you're already there, man. You know, the past 2 years was preparing you for this time. All right, now they've passed the stage of consent. Now they're about to jump into conquest. That's when you're about to start seeing the squeeze. Okay, that's going to lead to people revolting, like you see in Sri Lanka. Okay, Sri Lanka is wild right now. They're saying shoot on sight.
Yep.
All right, that's martial law.
They already got 9 people dead.
Yeah, and it's gonna get worse. You know, because that's India. You know what I'm saying? That's India, and India has the second largest population. So they're testing everything over there. They got China and India. What do you think they're doing all that for, man?
Little off the coast, they got offended apparently when you call them Indians.
Oh yeah? Well, that's all right. You know, it's all geographical. That's why.
Yeah, it's right there anyway. But at the end of the day, like I just read that comment. Somebody was saying how they just had a 7-month-old daughter and another one on the way or so. So they're kind of like, damn, like, why I gotta have kids at this time? But hey, if that's how the Lord had it turned out, if you are the elect, then you're gonna be good. Because guess what? The elect consists of men, women, and children. So there's gonna be certain children that are gonna be delivered and they're gonna be protected. Think about, look at Moses, for example. You know, at this time, it was basically a genocide on male-born children. And yet the Lord found a way to deliver them. So you don't gotta worry. If you're the elect, you're gonna be good. But when we speak out about go on to women and so on and so forth with child, that's talking about the wicked ones that don't have the hedge of protection from Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai.
Is that a brother or sister?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, whoever it was, man, if you're a brother, man, this is why you do this work. You see, because Lord willing, the Lord will have mercy on you and your household.
Right.
Because not everyone in our house, all right, is doing the right thing in the eyes of the Lord, but they might receive salvation through the men of the Lord, man.
Right.
You know, but with all that being said, man, these are the prophecies we're gonna get right into. All right, it's the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, verse 1.
And this is not it's not like something that Ezra just said. Yeah, vain prediction. He actually saw these things. Exactly. So everything you see now, the prophet Ezra saw it. He saw the cars. He saw the people. He saw the clothing, the dressing. He saw Jake and these heathens all mixed together. But it can be confusing because you're looking at it like, we don't dwell with heathens. So how come, like, you got all these, what's going on here? But what was most captivating was the destruction. Like the Lord showing him like scenes of like holograms of like what's going on. You hearing things? That's why it says when they got these visions, they were afraid. You know, because imagine you boom, shots, you know, fires, people screaming.
Right. 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy.
So in the ears of my people, the words of prophecy, because majority of it concerns us. Right?
Which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord Yahweh.
Right, and just like Ezra, when we come out and speak, these words are put in our mouth through the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. We don't just come and just make up things just to say whatever we want. We're speaking according to the words of the Heavenly Father. But you know what? Only a certain few can see that. And the rest, you were born in vain, as the scripture says.
It says, and cause them to be written in paper.
That's why you got the books.
Right. For they are faithful and true.
So they're gonna come to pass. Right? They're not gonna fail, they're not gonna lie. They're gonna come to pass just as they've been prophesied. And that's why ultimately people turn to look for the prophets, because they're saying, look, Ezekiel 33 and 33. What these men were saying is what we're seeing happening. We were here for years warning you about famines, and now you're talking about global food shortages. You know, warning you about the calamities to come, and now the news is talking about it. Now Biden is in office and people don't want him in office. But this guy is doing everything to make your lives worse. And yet people are out here just like there's just nothing going on in the world. This is crazy. They've truly been blinded. Yeah, these people are moving like blind people and deaf. That's why he said their ears and their eyes, because they act like they haven't heard the news and they can't see anything.
It's crazy. It says, fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee,
Right,
that
they
speak
disbelieve.
against thee.
That's right. Because they speak out against us, really against the message through disbelief, but we're not supposed to let that bother us. You know, we know that people coming up, they have all manner of they have all manner of imaginations against us, but we're here to speak the words of the Heavenly Father. So it's not about what you think about us, because when the famine hits, you're not going to feed us. You're not going to deliver us from the destruction. How about Shem Yahushua is? So we have a duty to do his will.
It's the book of Romans chapter 3 verse 3. For what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of the Most High without effect?
There you go. No, it won't.
It says, Most High forbid. Yea, let the Most High be true, but every man a liar, as it is written, that thou mightest be justified in thy sayings, and mightest overcome when thou art judged.
Yeah, because we could point back to the source of what we're talking about, and you're gonna find out that the source is really the Most High. So the words in here are gonna be true. We ain't gonna be found as liars, because the words that we're speaking are the Heavenly Father's words, and He's not a man that He can lie. So if you don't believe what the Lord is saying, or if you don't believe we're the prophets and we're warning you, who else is warning you about these things? You know, who else is hitting the nail around the head?
These churches.
That's not these churches.
Good precept. There's a book of Numbers chapter 23 verse 19. The Most High is not a man that he should lie. Right? So he's not a man, that means what? He's a spirit. It says he's not a man, comma, right? So that means what? He's a spirit, okay? That he should lie. Because lying is a tendency of humans, of men. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't, that's what they say. You know? It says, neither the Son of Man, meaning Yahushua, right? That he should repent, right?
Yeah, but I mean, ultimately there are times in there when Son of Man is referred to Yahushua and sometimes just referred to regular men. Like this would be a mini example of like a hendiatrist where it's repeating the same thing twice.
Right.
Because what do you do when you repent? If I tell you something, right? Yo, bro, I got you a $20 tomorrow, and tomorrow comes and I change my mind, I undo what I did, or I'm trying to go another direction. I'm repenting of what I said.
Right.
You know? So the Most High don't need to double speak or change his mind or reconsider.
It says that he should repent. It says, hath he said, and shall he not do it?
Right. Is there anything the Most High said and he's not going to do it?
Or hath he spoken, and shall he not make it good?
Well, he wouldn't be the Most High. He wouldn't have his reputation if that was the case.
Right. Right. And he said that he declares the end from the beginning.
Right.
So before you get to the end, you're going to know, all right, what the end is going to entail. But it's only given to the elect. Those are the ones who matter at the end, because who's going to be receiving salvation? The elect.
Right.
Who's going to be spoken of in the kingdom to come? The elect. What are we going to be talking about? We're not going to be talking about the salvation from Egypt. We're going to be talking about the new deliverance. So there has to be main characters who are going to be developed that's going to tell the next story to come. So if you look at it, regardless, the elect are the most important people on the earth, period. Start with the prophets, man. You know?
Yeah, because even in the book of Exodus, the Lord had certain testimonies kept.
Yep.
And he said that when your children ask you, why do you do this? Then you tell them, because the Lord did this, this, and that. So you're a witness. And we're going to be immortal. So we're going to be the ultimate witnesses in the kingdom to come. Because we're going to have the knowledge of living here, seeing this place, and seeing the transition, the downfall of this place. Matter of fact, real quick, get Daniel 4:17. Because it's the Most High that brings things down, raises others up. He controls it all. He controls both sides, or else he wouldn't be called the Most High. And he said that he's getting ready to destroy this place. So common sense will tell you, well, if I live here and the Most High is going to destroy it, I got to do something. And that's why they're going to get got. You know, and at that time, 4:17. At that time, that's when they're gonna want to get some sense of direction, man. But you gonna see how cruel the Most High can be. But at the end of the day, it's gonna be of your own doing. Because why didn't you listen?
Daniel chapter 4, verse 17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High rules in the kingdom of men.
Right. That the living, which are us on the earth, may know that the Most High rules in the kingdom of men. So everything happening, the Most High is controlling it. Proverbs 21:1 tells you that the mind of the king is in the hand of the Lord, and he turns it wherever he wants. So these kings control, the scriptures say that as is the ruler, so are the people of the city. So the kings control the cities, and the Most High controls the kings. So he controls the world.
That the Most High rules in the kingdom of men and gives it to whomsoever he will.
So
and
why is he so on top right now? Because Yahweh Bashim El Shai put him on top.
and gives
just
it
just like he did with Pharaoh. And he told Moses what he was going to do for Pharaoh to what? To get his heart hardened, man. So throughout the whole entire ordeal, the Lord was telling Moses, I'm going to control both sides.
Right.
You're going to wake up this morning, make sure you meet Pharaoh at this time, speak to him, and then I'm going to harden his heart, and he's not going to budge.
Control the opposition.
Control the opposition. So can we say that Esau Edom is being controlled by the Lord? You're damn right.
He's the Lord's sword.
He's the Lord's sword, man. Is Putin being controlled by the Lord? You're damn right. Is Kim Jong-un controlled by the Lord? That's right. Is Xi Jinping from China controlled by the Lord? You're damn right. Is Biden controlled by the Lord? You're damn right. And people are going to hate Biden so much, even more. But that's because the Lord is putting that spirit on these devils to show their horns, man. All right? And the part that hurts people the most is because what? They didn't believe our report.
Right.
So when the things start to come, what's going to happen? Instant regret, man.
Right.
You see, but you can't do nothing about it. That's what hurts the most. And then guess what they're going to do? Run back to Egypt for help, and the Lord's going to clank them up even more.
Yep.
You know?
Proverbs, the first chapter.
That's it. Yep.
And gives it to whomsoever he will, and sets up over it the basest of men.
Right. So who are the bases of men? Esau, Edom, the least among the heathen, and they're the ones who the Most High set up right now. You know, and ultimately he's going to take them down in due season. That was on that? Okay. Let's get that Proverbs.
Proverbs 1 and 20. Wisdom crieth without.
Uh-huh.
She uttereth her voice in the streets.
Now we know wisdom is not an actual physical person. So this is speaking in a personified form. But matter of fact, real quick, get our Psalm chapter 19, verse 4. Wisdom, the way wisdom cries without is by the mouth of the prophets. Because we're uttering wisdom. Because we fear the Lord, as the scriptures say, and the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge and wisdom and understanding, ultimately. Go ahead.
She crieth in the chief place of concourse,
Uh-huh.
in the openings of the gates.
Why? Because that's where the most people come and pass by. So they can hear the message. And they can be marked either for salvation or destruction.
In the city she uttereth her words, saying, How long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity?
And that's what we're saying. How long are you just going to walk by and not acknowledge the words of the Heavenly Father? How long are you going to go about thinking that the simple-minded ways that the society promotes is going to be the ways forever? Their inward thought is that their houses will continue forever. That's a simple thought. Because you cannot continue forever in a wicked society. The scriptures say because of unrighteous dealings, one kingdom is translated into another. So that's why kingdoms fall. And that's why ours won't. Because we're not going to have unrighteous dealings.
Hey, that's why when you go back to the book of Exodus, when Jethro was looking at Moses and how he was dealing with our nation, he came up to him, he said, yo, you're going to wear yourself out. He said, appoint unto the nation just men, all right? He didn't just say, oh, just pick whatever. No, he said just men who don't like, what's that word? What's that word? When you lust for something?
Covet?
Covet, there you go. Water. He said, yeah, men who don't have covetous spirits, man. And appoint them over the nation.
Right.
Because it's through covetousness that wickedness brews, man.
Right.
That's what Esau does. See? So Esau is not, he's an unjust power because he does not believe in righteousness, man. He does not weigh the balance in a righteous manner. You know, it's not a just weight. Everything he does is all wickedness, man.
It's an abomination.
It's an abomination. You know, and that's why the system is being ran into the ground, man. It's all based on lies, and the lies are being exposed. That's why the system is crumbling, man.
Yeah, because they're coveting after the wrong things.
That's right.
The problem with coveting after the wrong thing is, if you're coveting after the wrong thing, that means that wrong thing you're coveting after is not something you can get by legal means.
Right.
So now you got to step into illegal actions to get that thing. Exactly. If you're coveting for another man's woman, that's not something you can just pray for. You ain't gonna get that by legal means. So what do you got to do now? You got to go in adulterous ways in order to get what you're coveting for.
Adultery and murder. I mean, David, example.
Exactly. So, but if you covet to prophesy, if you covet to do the right thing, that is something you can gain by legal means. Did you find Psalm 19? Okay. Because in Proverbs it mentioned wisdom crying without.
Psalm 19 verse 4. Their line is gone out through all the earth,
Uh-huh.
and their words to the end of the world. In them he has set a tabernacle for the sun.
There you go. Go ahead. That's it on that verse?
Continue.
On the same verse?
No, that's it for the verse.
Okay, right. In them hath he set a tabernacle for the sun. And that's ultimately the prophets, because the sun, the moon, there are times when they're literal and there are times when they're metaphorical. All right, and in this sense, it's going into the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. So, where did the Lord place the ultimate knowledge, wisdom, and understanding? In the minds of his elect. So that's why it says wisdom crieth without, because who is uttering that wisdom? Who is showing forth day unto day and night unto night, right? Who is showing forth the knowledge of the Lord? The men of the Lord.
Look at word son in the scroll it up. Just to back up what the brother saying, because the sun represents knowledge. And if it says that it says they show forth the sun, that knowledge is coming from that knowledge is coming from the particular people who the Lord gave that knowledge to. You know, because we represent, going back to what Yahweh Shah said, you are the light of the world. You know, so if you look, what does the sun do? It gives you light. So without us, this whole world was really throughout, you know, the Lord using us as vessels. But without the prophets, there would be no light in the world. There would be no knowledge in the world. Everybody would be in darkness. That's why the scripture says, "They should have wicked be revealed." You use light to reveal something.
Got it?
The word sun in Hebrew, shamash, says, you want me to read these definitions, right?
Yeah. Read all of them.
It says sunrise, sun rising, east, sun setting, west. It says open publicly. It says pinnacles, battlements, and shields.
Is that it says pin? Let me see if I. What are you using? You using that blue letter? Blue letter. Hold on. Let me see. What that verse was that?
Psalms 19:4.
And you can also check, let me see the Strongs. Got the Strongs definition. Oh, I don't want to show the Strongs over there.
Yeah, here we go. For the Strong's definition, it says to be brilliant, to be as a figuratively a ray, and says that is a notch, a battlement. So basically, to be brilliant, that's where you get the word bright from, which is what the word light goes into. So the Lord, technically, as it says here, that we have, he says, let me read that verse again. It says, their line is going out throughout all the earth, their words to the end of the world, and them have he set a tabernacle, which means a house for brightness or for brilliantness. You know, and that's what the scripture talks about, the house of David. You got something?
Yeah, I got brilliant. I looked it up.
Yeah.
It says sparkling with light or luster. It says sparkling, shining. It says to sparkle, to whirl.
The shining one.
Shining one. It says distinguished by admirable qualities.
Yep.
It says here of surpassing excellence.
Hey, and that's the first fruits, man.
Yep.
That class of a superior rank.
Yep.
You know, that's what the Lord set us up to be. Lord willing to be those men, but that's why we out here, man. You know, that's and if we are those men, that was set up from the foundation of the earth. You know, and that's who the Lord is going to use to govern the world in. And that's why the world is going to be in such a peaceful predicament. You know, everything's going to be flourishing because we're going to have the brilliance to rule the earth, man. Because the Lord said that with Esau, his knowledge and his wisdom perverted him. You know, Esau searches out all things. He has knowledge. He says that he's more wiser than Daniel, but his knowledge is perverted, man. And everything that he finds is like the opposite effect of what they call it the Midas touch, where everything turns to gold. That's the Midas touch. Esau's the opposite, man. Everything Esau touches, it corrodes. He's like like a mad scientist or that villain, the Brainiac. And he was smart, but everything he did was like destructive.
Pertaining to Isaiah 60:2, the world is in darkness right now. So us being in the light, that allows us to see what's actually going on. But relating to that word of brilliance, relating to the sun, being able to see through the darkness.
Hey, we're the real brilliant people. You know, people say somebody's really smart. Oh, he's so brilliant. You go into what the word the brother just read. Hey, that's only the prophets, man, and the ones who have this knowledge. Right. These other people. That's why the Lord said, I believe the brother pulled that up.
where he said the wisdom of this world is foolishness, man. Hey, the wisdom of this world is foolishness, because what do people that got knowledge or wisdom of this world or got college degrees or all that stuff, what is their real worth? When it comes to the grand scheme of things, what is that knowledge and education and intellect really worth, man? It's not worth the damn thing. Because when all hell breaks loose, which we always going to, the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding should be the stability of thy times. These people don't have that. They don't have that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, so they're not going to be stable. So their college degree, their flattery words that they use in this world is not going to be worth anything. But the men that are of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua will be in perfect peace.
Scripture say physicians of no value.
Yep. Yep. They won't be able to even comfort their own self, man.
Right. Yeah, hey, and ultimately, it goes to show you, because back in Yahushua's time, you had the scribes, the Pharisees, the Sadducees, the doctors in the law, and they would learn, where they would, from a youth, they would be raised up in that way and taught, like Paul. Right. But even Paul, for example, raised and learned in the law, taught by Gamaliel, he said he basically had to cast everything as dung for Yahushua. He had to basically, he made the statement, you have to become fools to become wise. Showing that everything you learned in the world, for the most part, you got to drop, and you got to learn it anew the right way. It's like you're going down the path, but you got to come back in reverse, and now you got to go back the right way,
And that's what goes into being reborn.
Right.
And that's why when you come into the truth, you are reborn. You gotta be humble, because a baby doesn't come out with pride. The baby is humble and meek. They don't talk. All they do is just open their mouths up to get fed.
Right.
And the Lord said that we are pastors. That should feed you with wisdom and knowledge. And then after you get to a certain point, then you grow, and then you be able to eat the food that are what they call it, the meat. But it starts off with you being a new creature, and newborn, and soaking up all the information, all of the knowledge that you can get.
Yeah, that's very spiritual, because babies can't really feed themselves. They have to be fed.
Right.
But when they get to a certain age, then they're able to now feed themselves and eventually others. And that's how it is when you come into the truth. When you first come in, you got to be fed to know what you can eat, what you can't eat. But when you go to a certain age, now you're able to read the scriptures, and then you get fed, and then you can feed others. Right. That baby analogy with the milk is.
I got a precept, Hebrews 5 verse 12, and it says, For when the time ye ought to be teachers, ye have need that one teach you again, which be the first principles of the oracles of the Most High, and are become such as have need of milk, and not of strong meat. For everyone that useth milk is unskillful in the word of righteousness, for he is a babe. But strong meat belongeth to them that are full of age, even those who by reason of use have their senses exercised to discern both good and evil.
And that's that experience to be tried out. Because there's certain things that it doesn't matter how sharp, how smart you are, you can't beat experience. Because experience teaches a lesson that you can't orally speak. And that point on being born again, when you first come into the truth, regardless of what age you are, the way you ask questions, the kind of questions you ask, the things you say, you sound like a baby. Right. Like every little thing. Oh brother, what about this? Am I going off?
Am I allowed to do this?
Yeah, I know, because I see that. You see, and it's like, and you may be like you may be an old man, but in the truth, it's like you're starting again, because you got to basically relive, but now grow up the right way.
Right. Yep. Hey, that's why the Lord said that unless you come into me as a newborn babe, you won't be able to enter into the kingdom. Because what does that give you? When you're in that mindset and you're willing to get to that, like to humble yourself to that point, that's very honorable in the eyes of the Lord, man. Because the Lord said that before honor comes humility. So if you want the honor, you gotta have humility, and coming into this truth is it's a humiliating thing, And it's not humiliating. Somebody point at you a lot, but people do point at you a lot. Yeah, it's a humbling thing, but that's the word humiliating. But that's why, as the brother said, what Paul said, the foolishness of preaching. Right. We're looked at as fools
But even when you go into the word fools, when you go into the word fools, it goes into a deeper word, which is mysterion, which is a mystery. You know? So when we're speaking, it's foolish to everybody else because it's a mystery to them. But these are the mysteries of the kingdom, which you're going to need in order to get saved. So it's like when somebody knows a mystery, if me and you know the mystery, it's something that's like very precious and valuable. But the same person could be looking at, let's say like, what's that, Indiana Jones, you're looking at a map. It's a mystery, but you know what it is. You know what it is. You know how to decode it. But if somebody else is like, what the fuck is this foolishness? They'll just toss it out. But not knowing that you're tossing out a roadmap to a treasure chest. You know?
Got a quick process. Back y'all up. Proverbs 9 and 9.
Yeah, go ahead and okay.
Proverbs 9 and 9. Give instruction to a wise man, and he will be yet wiser. Teach a just man, and he will increase in learning. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the holy is understanding. For by me thy days shall be multiplied, and the years of thy life shall be increased.
So ultimately, because why is that? Why is that? Give that to a wise man and he will increase. Because like the elder said, he's going to utilize it. But that's why the Lord said, what? Cast not your pearls to swine. Because swine ain't going to take that and go to the store and cash it in for money and do something with it. No, he ain't. You know what I'm saying? He's going to look at the shit, try to eat it, spit it back out, sniff it, spit it back out, step on it, and just, shit on it, roll in the shit and all of that. But a wise man, for example, wisdom, a wise man asks for wisdom because he's going to use it. He's going to utilize it and he's going to grow with that. A fool is not. So you're wasting your resources by giving it to one like that. That's why the Most High is only dealing with his elect, because he's a God of wisdom.
Proverbs 14:6, a scorner seeketh wisdom and findeth it not, but knowledge is easy unto him that hath understanding. Hey, going back to that scripture too, where it says, I give knowledge to read that part, the first part again, Brother Chuck?
Give instruction to a wise man, and he will be yet wiser.
Yeah, because that's the scripture in Sirach. It tells you that a wise man will skillfully add on to a wise word, right? And that's why, that's exactly. Brother, see a video, repost double the RE. I'm just going to, I heard this video, I just want to add on because it's all one spirit. But the Lord has different many operations to it. So that's why it's like, I believe in Malachi, it said that them that spoke often one to another, because that's what we're really, it's really a family just talking to each other. Yeah. We're coming out here talking to everybody, we're warning everybody else, but who we're edifying is just each other. Because nobody else is really being edified, but they're being marked. And that's why the Lord said it, I came so they ain't gonna have no cloak for their sins, right?
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 1. Verse 19, for it is written, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise and will bring to nothing the understanding of the prudent.
Yeah. And that goes into those that are quote unquote wise in this world, because they don't ultimately have wisdom. The Most High ain't gonna destroy the wisdom he gave us, not this one.
Hurt not the oil in the wine.
Boom, there you go. But he's gonna destroy that to prove to you that that's not wisdom. Matter of fact, I got the precept that you asked for earlier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he said that what he won't he said that, read that again, he said something about destroying.
For it is written, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise and will bring to nothing the understanding of the prudent.
And how's the Lord going to do that? He's going to do that by way of the commandments. He's going to do that when this society collapses, because everybody in this society, they're wise based off of this world's wisdom, based off of what the standard, and again, we're talking about Jacob. They're not even there. Jacob is below that, and that's low, But they're wise based off, the stock market, it will come back and it'll do this. Crypto, it's a good thing. NFTs, you gotta get into it. But when the Lord destroys all that, those people are going to be fucking left clueless, right? And they're not going to have no idea on what to do. And that's why you want to see a lot of people, they want to literally start killing like regular people. They want to kill their families, they want to kill their bosses, they want everybody. That's why I said they should not regard the kings nor princes. They want to come out to their governor, their mayor, the president. That's why they got the fence up around the Capitol building and everything.
Yeah.
You think that's for show? They already know, like, yo, what the pressure that they're bringing on the society is going to intensify to a point where people are going to try to literally ransack the White House, man.
They said it when they ran the Event 201 shit.
Oh yeah.
They said after the food shortages, the lady spoke about it like it's in the past tense. She said people got so crazy that trust in government was gone, and people started to take matters into their own hands, like the scripture says. You see, so we already know what time it is, and they know what time it is because it's being done by design to fulfill those prophecies, man. It's not going to come randomly like, oh my goodness, look at the things. No. We've been told you these things were going to happen, and now they're coming out and telling you, man. Baby formula shortage, that's it, man. That's the beginning right there.
That's bad. That's not even. That was it's 43%. It went up from November at 11%. So it went up 30% in 6 months. And I said that in my video. I was like, imagine another 6 months goes to another 30%. That'd be 75%. So 3 out of 4 spots will be empty. Will be empty. Yeah, this one lady, she went from I think Georgia, 14 hours.
that shit was crazy.
14-hour drive.
She was
Now
big.
imagine, and imagine gas is crazy right now.
Oh,
14 hours, man. And the thing is, and the one lady, she had said about her child, she was like, I felt bad, but my baby has to survive.
Right.
And that's the mindset.
Yep.
That's the desperation mode kicking in. And that's light.
Yep.
You know, this is just, baby formula shortage. What happens when it's actual real food?
Right.
You know, with milk, dairy, meat, all these things.
She's not lactating.
What? They don't like
she don't want she don't want her breast.
Women don't even have birth natural anymore, man. They get C-sections. And then they want to act like, oh, I'm strong because I got a C-section. No, you're weak. First of all, you're getting the epidermal shot. So you that, and then now you're like, you know what, just cut it out of me.
Right.
And that's like a psychological damage to a child, man. That whole birthing process is connected to a woman and a child. But now you treating yourself like a piece of cattle that is cutting you up and taking it out.
Hey, that's you pain. You bond with somebody.
Exactly.
So like the mother's having pain to give birth to you. So when the baby comes, you know how they always hold their baby, and if you come around and be like, oh, I'm gonna take it, be like, oh, no. Even animals do that. You see a chicken with a hen with her chickens, bro. Try to recognize you come after you quick like crazy. A polar bear, a lioness. Why do you think a cat, when it finds out that you've discovered where, they'll take them and move them around, man. So every creature, all right, is made to protect their young.
Right.
And now, if you're not gonna be able to protect your young, what are you gonna do, man?
Hey, like the other said, she said, my baby, he has to live. And when you read in the book of, I think, Kings. Wait, no. Oh yeah. I forget if it was with Solomon or if it was with
No, Solomon was the 2 women that had the baby and then
one slept on the other. Okay. So in Kings, when they came up to the king, I think it was Ahab, and they said, look, we agreed we're gonna eat my daughter, and then now I'm looking for her daughter. So she was of the energy of, nah, my baby gotta live, but if we all gotta eat, we're gonna eat yours, but mine is gonna live. So now, where the scriptures say friends shall fight one against another like enemies. Because think about, imagine you got a baby, right? And there's a shortage of baby formula. You find out your friend got some. And what you gonna do? You're naturally gonna go and ask and see if you can get some. But when they like no, and then you start to picture sad case, and they still like no, that friend is not looking too much like a friend anymore.
She's hoarding, but you got nothing.
Because now it's still child of mine, exactly. So now you try to
They
take
said
that.
they should have no pity upon their neighbor. Because in that mind, if you got a mindset of my baby has to survive, and you buy all the boxes of the baby formula to last you 3 months, but your neighbor don't got none. It's like, yo, can I get one? Nah, because I need this. So now you don't have pity, but then your neighbor who doesn't have any, now they're desperate. So now their non-pity is going to turn violent.
Yes.
Your non-pity is just like me, but theirs turns violent because now they're in a survival mode. And because you didn't want to give them a help, now to their mind it's like, you know what, now I gotta kill you. I just gotta take it. You leave me no choice.
And see, people are gonna be surprised, but then you can't really be surprised because desperation turns people against each other. It's time and time again, people betray each other. When it comes down to one-on-one, they're gonna do it because they have that same survival of the fittest. Right. And a lot of these people are not fit. They're not mentally, not physically, none of that. They don't know how to survive how to survive in these times. You know, they don't know how to move under pressure. So in that situation, when you got friends fighting one against another like enemies, because you wouldn't expect your friend to kick down your door with a gun like, yo, something, give me that shit. Give me the bed fact. I'm taking all of your baby formula and everything else you got, and I'm gonna leave you there. Now I'm not gonna show you pity because you ain't show me pity.
And they might even take your baby.
Oh yeah.
Like, they might even take your baby, bro.
Now you got no baby to. Yeah, they might take your baby and hold a ransom until you give me the formula. Right? Or they just might say, fuck it, I'll take the formula and the baby.
Now, if you don't got the baby, who you gonna feed now?
Yeah.
So give me the formula, nigga.
Hey, look, people, the scriptures say they're wise to do evil. And when they get desperate, there's some people who their desperation tactic is just, they're very smart when it comes to thinking of some cruel, sinister ideas, especially women.
Bro, I was just talking to my Eve the other day. Yo, there's mad parents, mothers particularly, like just like killing their kids on some like crazy shit, yo. Just like just wilding out. Like the mind, I'm like, yo, I'll put it in the I put a still shot. I think I put it in group chat too. When a woman that she killed her kid because she thought her 3-year-old was possessed. So she took her child to her father's house. He was this is in California. Took your child to her father's house. He had a house, home-based church, like a house-based church, and they performed the exorcism on the 3-year-old kid for 12 hours. What? And it was like making him throw up, trying to throw up the demon.
Oh my God!
For 12 hours, just kept repeatedly making the child throw up to the point where the child asphyxiated, I don't know the word, and suffocated to death off of the own throw up. And then the mother gets on camera. She goes on YouTube. And basically, there's like a 45-minute video talking about it is what it is. God understands. I'm like, yo, you're the real demon, bro. Yeah. But that goes to show you just the mindset of people. Like there are people that love a mini shall wax cold because iniquities abound in them.
See, I'm talking about it. Yeah, I'm talking about it. See? That's an old man. And this a young man arguing with an old man over some traffic stuff.
He did a U-turn.
Yeah. So now what's gonna happen when there's
That's over traffic. That's over traffic. Yo, people right now will kill somebody for a gold chain or for sneakers or for beef.
They've been doing that.
Yeah. So how much more for when you actually need something? Like one thing that you gotta understand is if you're rioting, right, or if you are in desperate need of something and you leave your house because of that, you're not gonna go back home satisfied if you don't get what you came out for. If you hungry when you left and you hungry when you came back in, you gonna leave again to try and find some food. You know what I'm saying? You might sleep, but the next day you thinking, yo, we gotta actually do something. We might have to start stealing. We might have to start breaking into stores. People are gonna start cooking like that. Yo, what was that chick's name? That dude you be seeing on IG? He always talking about stocking up. He always talking about, get your stuff ready. Where he live again?
These dumbass people, they go shop. The little that they got, they're gonna be live streaming this shit. Like, yo, I just picked up the last batch. Yo, we about to, yo, it's lit. And they're gonna meet you right in the corner and be like, oh, you about to get lit up here? You know, light that ass up. You know, but
And just add on to that. Even people that aren't about that lifestyle are gonna turn into that because they see other people. Because you see that in the movies all the time. Like a lot of people there's like a mall and there's a shutdown and people just start breaking everything in there. And then you see the bystanders, they see everybody else doing it. They like, I gotta get mine too. So all of this chaos is gonna spread into everything.
You see what happened during the whole George Floyd riot? Like New York City, you had the people was breaking into Rolex stores and moving out. That was all just it was trying to get a come up. That wasn't even like a necessity. You know? Huh?
that was designed.
Yeah, that was designed. You had provocateurs, but then like our brother said, you had people that would just add into it because they see everybody else doing it. But that wasn't something that was necessary. What happens when it's necessary? What happens when you're like, yo, we gotta go out there? Right. Like, I gotta eat. That's when your mind, like, you become less aware of any dangers around you. Because, like, you thinking, like, I'm gonna be the danger. So somebody else thinking, I'm gonna be the danger. And there's a bunch of chaos going on. Gotham City.
That's the title right there. I'm gonna be the
but that's how people think, man. Psalms 59 verse 15. It says, let them wander up and down for me. and grudge if they be not satisfied. You know? And it says they grudge if they be not satisfied. You go to the word grudge, grumble, complain, murmur, complain. But like you grudging for food, that's not something you just like, oh, like, all right, maybe next time. Like every moment that goes by that you don't get it, you become more complaining, more upset. Then you become primal. Because like what they say after 3 days of not eating, like you start looking at, well, they said like not us because we've gone fasted.
Right.
But like a normal Babylonian after 3 days without eating, like you become looking at people as like meat. Like in Madagascar with the lion, we looked at the zebra. You turn into a steak. That's how people going to turn into, man. The Lord, hey, cannibalism coming back in a big way, man. There's a reason why the Lord said that in famine we're going to be satisfied. That's not because we're just going to, this is still going to be Popeyes open and we're just going to, or you know, Chick-fil-A or Chipotle, we're just going to be able to go to the store. The Lord's going to make it a separation on why his men and his elect are going to be satisfied because everybody else is not going to be satisfied. Even if you are eating, imagine eating but not being satisfied. Yeah. It's like you grumbling out of a garbage can for a half-baked food, and like that's the first thing you eat in 4 days. So you're trying to get whatever nutrients from that canned meat. You're not satisfied. And then you see somebody else. Don't let you come across somebody else like out for you. But in the cities like this, like that's gonna be done, man. People gonna die so quickly, man. This shit gonna be. And that's where is that at? Amongst Jacob, man. Amongst Israel. There's too many people and not enough food supply.
Yeah. They become the food.
Yep.
It never fails. It never fails because, like you said, the violence spreads. The movie Belko Experiment. When they started from when they ended, and these are the same people. Mind you, these are the same people. The only thing that changed was the circumstance. And when you watch the movie, you can see the phases that they went through mentally to where the main character, in his mind, he was just against violence. But look at how he turned out at the end. You know, and they started off thinking, nah, we're not going to give them nobody. This is a joke, calm down. And when the bodies started dropping, now you got people finding guns. They get axes and shit. They're like, yo, look.
Throwing the box up.
Yep. and what happened? In that time, he didn't want it.
Yeah, he wanted.
He snapped
He
his
said he
neck.
wasn't even worth the bullet.
Right.
He wasn't even worth the bullet.
Man. That's why the Lord, and that's going to be a spirit the Lord is going to put on these people. Because you're going to have angels manifested, but you're going to have some death angels just jumping on people to have that cold mindset. You know, like if they could jump on a person to lie, they could jump on somebody to just have that cold-hearted mindset. So that's why it says slay utterly old and young men and women and little children and maids and don't have pity.
Yeah. See that angel, it's not like during the time of when David got punished. There was an actual angel. Those angels are going to be on people. You know, those are angels. When we said slay utterly, the Lord's going to put those angels on people because, like how you mentioned about being able to lie, with an angel in the heavens, he didn't come down and told Ahab to lie. He said, I will be a lying spirit in the mouths of their prophets. So those angels that's going to be slain, they're going to be slaying spirits in the bodies of these people, man.
Yep. And just like on the right hand, you have us, you know, you speak in the spirit. You know, you do certain things in the spirit on the right hand. Well, the Lord got these people doing all these things in the spirit on the left hand. You know?
I got an account going to show you how people get real desperate. Even they don't care. When the time comes when there's no food and there's no water, people's characters change, man. And we're gonna get that real quick. There's the book of Exodus, chapter 17, verse 1. It says, and all the congregation of the children of Israel journeyed from the wilderness of Zin after their journeys, according to the commandment of the Lord Yahweh, and pitched in Rephidim, and there was no water for the people to drink. Wherefore the people did chide with Moses and said, give us water that we may drink. And Moses said unto them, why chide ye with me? Wherefore do ye tempt the Lord? And the people thirsted there for water, and the people murmured against Moses and said, wherefore is this that thou hast brought us up out of Egypt to kill us and our children and our cattle with thirst? And Moses cried unto the Lord Yahweh, saying, what shall I do unto this people? They be almost ready to stone me. Right? And you think about what happened. these Israelites were there. They saw the miracles that the Lord did through Moses and Aaron. They saw everything that happened. They saw the Lord plaguing the Egyptians while we're in the midst of the Egyptians, and we were good.
The deaf angels.
The deaf angels slaying them watching the Egyptians get fucked up when we crossed over through the Gulf of Suez. Okay, they saw all these miracles, man. But what happened at the time where the Lord said, okay, it's time for them to be tested. All right, they're not going to have water to drink. How they going to go through this? He was testing to see if they're going to be good commandment keepers, man. Right? Are they going to keep my laws? Are they going to listen to me? And guess what happened? When the desperation set in, what did they do? They're about to stone Moses, man.
And that shows you that it's the spirit of the Lord that keeps you when you're desperate.
Right.
Because Daniel, the three holy children, all of them had the spirit. Had the spirit of the Lord on them to keep them, because the children of Israel at this time, the Lord didn't put His spirit on them to keep them, because He wanted to test them. So they were just out on their own. How would they act in this situation? And you can see how they acted. Now, they're reminding me when David. Now remember, the men that were with David, these were men that risked their whole life to go to a city to get David water to drink, right? So these men were like ready to ride or die with David. Now when the Amalekites came and took the women and children of these men from their camp, and they came back and they didn't find them there, they were ready to kill David. So now you're thinking about it like, that shows you the mindset people are ready to go into when the time of desperation comes.
That's why the scripture says they shall not regard their kings nor princes. So Biden's gonna come up and tell you, oh yeah, I'm aware, that the American people are struggling. Families don't have, money to take care of the food on the table, pay your rent. And so I'm aware of that. I'm aware of the inflation, the gas inflation, gas prices going up, food prices going up, the crisis, the food and gas, energy crisis. They're gonna be using these words, man. They're gonna say we're doing everything in our power to help the American people. Guess where the American people are gonna be at? The White House. They're gonna be at the Congress building, the Capitol. All right, they're gonna be turning up, man. Just like in Sri Lanka, they're gonna have to put the National Guards out here, and they're gonna be like, the National Guard's not working, the TikTok dancing videos are not working. These people are pissed.
And this won't be just one state.
Yeah.
Like, the George Floyd protest, it was more crazy in some states.
Yep.
When you have a food shortage in the whole country, the East Coast ain't gonna say, all right, y'all do the work. We hungry as well over here. So everybody's gonna be in unison with the same goal, get food to eat.
Right. And where is this gonna really start at? The Jake neighborhoods, man. Because you don't have as much to last you however long this experiment is gonna be. Right. Jake right now, a lot of Jake is tapped out, man. Yeah. For the most part, most Jakes are tapped out, man. Before all this shit, people were living paycheck to paycheck. Now, your paycheck is not even enough. Right. You got 2-3 jobs, and it's still not enough. And when this all shit goes down, these jobs gonna be laying mad people off. Who do you think they're gonna be laying off the most? Jake, because it's designed to affect Jake the most.
And go ahead.
Right. And then when that happens, the only result that's gonna happen is Jake rising up. And everyone else is gonna rise up with Jake, because that's the spirit. The Lord said He's gonna make Jake a terror unto Egypt, man. So Judah's about to rise up, because they're being the most affected with all this shit. The abortion things that's going on. People gonna be like, yo, how come we the only ones who get hit with all this shit that's happening? The government got a vendetta against us. They're sending billions of dollars over to Ukraine, but here it is. We could barely put food on the table for our children. Baby formula running out. Who do you think is going to be affecting the most, man? Jake. And that's when they're going to turn up. So we coming close to that time, man.
I was gonna say, because you got Jake that work these jobs, and a lot of jobs that are not essential.
Right.
You have Jake there, right? You have restaurant jobs, you have gyms, you have these places that you go to. Now, there's always a chain effect. If I'm rich, or if I'm just an average citizen, and regularly I'll pay my bills, right? Pay for whatever, and then I got money to spend on the little luxuries. I have a gym membership. I'm subscribed to a Netflix, subscriptions, whatever. I go to this restaurant to eat, right? My money that I'm using for these luxury activities is what those companies are using to pay their employees. If I say things are getting tight, I gotta cut my membership at Blink, right? I can't go out to eat anymore. I gotta cancel my Netflix subscription, and I'm not the only one doing that. Netflix, the gym, the restaurant are losing money. They lose so much money, they can't pay their employees, so they got to start cutting people off. So now people are losing jobs. And whenever the economy gets bad, people who are working in non-essential jobs go first. There was a video of a manager that got on the Zoom with like, I think over 100 employees and just told them just straight up, I mean, we're gonna have to let you go. And then one of them said, we lost $100 million, I think he said, it was my fault.
Yeah, Elon Musk, they just said, Twitter basically just came out and said that they're about to do cuts, and what they're gonna cut is basically the employees bill. They said first, anybody who was who got hired, they're not gonna basically go through with the hiring level. And then it might end up actually doing cuts of people that are already there. So they put them on hold. So it's like you think you got a job at Twitter, and next thing you know, like, oh nah, man, you're not getting a paycheck this month.
Quick resource. 1 John 2:15. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him.
Hey, and the understanding on that's twofold because there's nothing to love in this world. You know, if you are of a spiritual mindset, if you have the mind of Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai, his righteousness, you wouldn't love this world. Name one thing that you will miss if you want to compare it to the kingdom of heaven. There's not one thing that you can name, man. So if you love anything of this world, then that means that the love of the Father is not in this world. I mean, it's like it's not in you. And then two, if you love this world, when things start to be taken away from you of this world, it's going to have a very deep impact on you. You won't be able to let it go. That's why the scripture says about being as a pilgrim on the earth. When you're as a pilgrim, you don't really have any ties to anything. You got to just go up and leave. You know, you don't own anything. It's not yours. It's not your rest, as the scripture says. So when you have the mindset of not loving this world, when this world starts to fade away, it ain't gonna bother you. You know, nothing is gonna really affect you.
Right. What you said reminded me of that scene from Spider-Man 3 with Venom, Eddie Brock and Venom, the symbiote. Now, he was so in love with that symbiote and that power it gave him that when Peter Parker hit the thing and they split and he threw the grenade into the symbiote, Eddie Brock was like, nah, so he jumps in and basically dies along with that symbiote. So if you compare the symbiote to the world, when that grenade, the destruction comes to the world, these people who love the world, they're gonna die with the world. They ain't gonna jump ship. Because in their mind, they're thinking, the ship is sinking, but it's gonna be all right. It's gonna get back up. The world is gonna pick back up. And they don't realize, no, you need to jump ship now because this shit is getting destroyed. So by the time, they keep thinking it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Now they're in the water. They're not even on the ship no more. They're in the water. Now they're gone.
And that's what the mindset that Lot's wife had. Right. Because when she looked back, she wasn't just looking back saying like, wow, like she was looking back as in like missing or admiration for what she believed. And that mindset was why the Lord killed her. Because it's like, I'm about to destroy these sinful cities, and you over here feel sad for it. Right. That means that your mind, you're wicked in your mind, in your spirit. Right. So that's why she got destroyed. That's why she got killed as well. And that's why a lot of people, a lot of them want to end up taking the Quran. It's going to be because that we worship something. That's your life. That's your all. So they worship the beast. They worship the image of this place. So whatever the beast says, you're just going to be down with it. You know, that's like how we're supposed to love the Lord with all of our heart, all of our mind. Well, that's what these people do with Babylon, with this world. They love this world with all their heart, with all their mind, with all their soul. And that's why the scripture talks about when the Lord destroyed the old world, he said what? Because the imagination of their heart was to do evil continually. So that's why being spiritually connected to this world is a death sentence, man.
It's like what's that scripture that says store up your treasures in heaven? That's like what? Having a commitment to the Heavenly Father, right? You're committed to the kingdom, right? Mentally, you're committed to the kingdom. If you're mentally or spiritually committed to anything here on earth, it's gonna be to your detriment, man, because you're not gonna be able to let go when it's time to let go. You know, you like, it's like, man, this shit is heavy, but you drowning with it. Nigga, let it go. Right. Let it go so it could drown and then you could stay afloat, man. But a lot of people, whether it be women, whether it be a certain lifestyle, whether it be money, jobs, whatever, your commitments here on earth is going to be to your detriment because this America shit is going down, man. It's drowning. You're too invested in America, man. You ain't shit to invest in here, man. The elder just said it. Ain't shit to invest in here. And I remember 2 years ago, we used to be out here. We used to be like, this is the best you go and see things. And now look, and it's only gonna get worse from here. Soon, hey, who knows? But the Lord might have it where we might come back out here next time, and you go see people just sitting in the corner, homeless,
no lights
homeless,
on.
no lights on.
No energy.
You know?
They said East Coast, the energy crisis,
Yep.
the oil crisis.
Yep. And
But Jake not thinking of this. You want to say something?
Wisdom of Solomon, the 2nd chapter, verse 6. Come on, therefore, let us enjoy the good things that are present. Let us speedily use the creatures like as in youth. Let us fill ourselves with costly wine and ointments, and let no flower of the spring pass us by. Let us crown ourselves with rosebuds before they be withered. But none of us.
And mind you, as you're reading that, that's the mindset of the ungodly, you know, and that's their thought is, you know, let us do that now. Let's enjoy this world now. Let's, like I mentioned earlier, our mindset is sacrificing now for what's to come. We're storing our treasures in heaven. Go on.
Let none of us go without his part of our voluptuousness. Let us leave tokens of our joyfulness in every place.
Hey, they did that. All of their artifacts, all of their coins. You know, they come the ruins. You got the ruins over there in Greece and Rome. You know, all these things. That's them leaving their token signs of them saying that we've been around. But I believe it's in the book of Psalms where it says that they want to fade away like a dream, man. There's going to be nothing. There's going to be nothing that's going to be able to remind you of the Edomites, man, of their rulership, of their supremacy.
Yeah, it's on fire.
For this is our portion, and our lot is this.
I believe it because in Psalms it says that though he spread his wings like a green bay tree, and the light. We find that scripture. Basically, he'll be nothing left of him, man. So that's like brother saying. That's the mindset of the ungodly. They think that their houses shall last forever. Even while they're seeing this, even the elites, and it's funny because the elites are doing all this. They're collapsing this world, this age, the way that things are happening right now. But they think that they're going to be able to rebuild on top of this. That's what the pride of their heart has deceived them. See, people of this world, the low-level peons, they're going to be so attached to this world because they don't think that there could be something else after this.
Right.
The elites think that they got the kingdom of I guess their heaven coming up after this. That's their perverted bizarro world of the next world is them ruling and having the power of Jacob in its fullness through their technology.
Right.
We know what's going to actually happen is us ruling and having the power that we're supposed to have from the beginning. But these regular peons, they don't even see nothing. They want this to stay. They want this to stay. But the Lord is going to allow Esau to act to seem as he's going to fulfill his belly. So they're going to get down with that program. Because they're like, well, that's just the new thing. That's just the new age to do. You know, that's it. Because they don't believe the Abishai is coming back. So they see Esau doing all this miracles and being able to give people the ability to walk through, you know, their brain chips and all this other. But that's in their mind. That's the closest thing that they're going to get to a heavenly state. They show you that all these dystopic. It's funny because all these dystopic movies, it's Esau, his utopia.
Right.
You know, dystopic movies shows Esau's utopia. And that's the upside down world of Esau, man.
Got it. The precept for that, too. This is the book of Psalm, chapter 37, verse 34. Wait on the Lord and keep his way, and he shall exalt thee to inherit the land.
Hey, that's what patience and endurance, man. That's what it's all about. You know? It's all about waiting on the Lord. It sounds so easy, but it's so hard. But the scripture says, but wisdom is easy to understand. You know? His ways are plain to the holy, but they are a stumbling block to the ungodly. So just waiting on the Lord is an easy thing to a person of faith, but what? There's not faith on the earth. So that's a very hard thing to do, to tell somebody that has no faith to wait. It's like you saying, yo, I'm gonna be there in 25 minutes, just wait. I'm gonna be there, I'm gonna tell you the time. I'm gonna be there, just wait on me. If you don't have faith in me, you're not gonna wait. You're not gonna wait. You're like, I'm not waiting on this. I'm just gonna go. And that's these people, man. They're out of my mouth. But see, the thing is, you're not supposed to have faith in men. It's going to say you lean out on the arms of men. You know, trust not in flesh. But the Lord's telling you to wait on him. All the scriptures, the prophets, the King David, Moses, they never say, oh, trust me.
Right.
It's always been wait, trust on the Lord. He's going to deliver you. He's going to come. He's going to be your defense. And that's the message.
So it says here, wait on the Lord and keep his way, and he shall exalt thee to inherit the land. When the wicked are cut off, thou shalt see it. I have seen the wicked in great power, and spreading himself like a green bay tree.
Yep. Hey, and that's a prophecy, man. So if I'm not mistaken, is that King David speaking?
Yeah, Psalm 37.
Yep. So in King David, he was in his glory when he was not his glory, but he was in rulership when he was on the scene, man. He was conquering all the other nations. So he didn't see that during his time, but that was a prophetic. The wicked in great power. That's talking about the valley of the shadow of death. That's talking about right now, man. So that's what we see. We see the wicked in great power. We understand that we are in the hands of him that is stronger than us. But the Spirit allows us to come out here and shake the hand at this devil, man. And he can't do nothing about it.
Right? It says here, verse 36, 35 again, I have seen the wicked in great power, and spreading himself like a green bay tree. Yet he passed away, and lo, he was not. Yea, I sought him, but he could not be found.
Going back to the scripture about them leaving tokens, man. You know, you got people, even Jake, when they go to these different museums, they'll go travel from here to Paris to go to the Louvre, they go to the Britain Museum, all these different, see all these things, but a lot of them shapes is falsified and are a lot of the actual artifacts of like the Middle Age times. Esau done hit them shits, because if you really got down and dirty, it'd be all us, it'd be Jake faces. But the stuff that they really show you is what from Greek, it's from the Greek Empire, from the Roman Empire, and from the Renaissance period. That's the only time period they really show you of anything. And then if they show you some Egyptian things, it will be discolored and you know, disfigured and all that, man. But you have a lot of people, they go and to these different museums, they go travel to see all of this quote unquote history, but it's all Esau. Right. But at the end of it, that's all going to be destroyed, man. And the king ain't going to be able to find an Edomite bust. They did the bust like a fresco. Ain't going to be none of that, man. They ain't going to find a coin of George Washington's face. So Mount Rushmore, that's going to be melted, man. Mount Noble.
I got a precept here. This is the book of Job, chapter 20, verse 4. Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment?
There you go, man. The joy of the hypocrite, the actors, man. Because that's what this devil is. Satan transformed himself into an angel of light. That's an act. And as we get closer and the Spirit of the Lord is being poured out more and more, the wicked is being revealed. So they can't even act like they're I mean, to the regular people, they're doing it, but even them. A lot of people waking up. That's why Joe Biden's ratings at an all-time low. Nobody ever really trusts politicians. You know, they just try to find one thing that they like that he says, and then they'll go with it. And what he used this time was student loans.
Yeah.
That was everybody like, I voted out student loans. But he came out voting like, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. That's what it was, man.
Hey, and then they asked him, hey, are you going to be following up with the student loan shit you were saying? He said, I don't plan on doing none of that. I said, this nigga here. He said, nah, I'm not planning on revoking no student loans like $50,000 in debt. Nah, I'm not working on that. I'm working on something else to keep you more in debt. It's crazy as fuck. And I'm like, see, he did telling you. See? Man, this is...
Job 20:7. Yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? He shall fly away as a dream, and shall not be found. Yea, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night.
Yeah, that's the real American dream, man. You know? People trying to trace this American to know. Esau gonna be the American nightmare. Because American means bitter, man. That's America. This was a bitter dream for us, man. You know? Esau in power was a bitter dream that we had. But just like that cup that we had to drink.
Right.
We had to drink of it, man. Right. But the Lord said, what? You shall surely drink of us. That's gonna be your reality, man. And the thing is about Esau, You can't even enjoy your kingdom right now, man. You can't enjoy it because you are constantly, whether it be the chariots, you seeing the chariots plague you, you being plagued by visions of the night, dreams, you being plagued by the prophets coming out here, you being plagued by people not trusting you, believing your lies, your deception. So like you can't even enjoy. That's why the scripture says, I believe in Proverbs 4th chapter, it says you lose sleep, man. In the kingdom, we're gonna sing upon our beds. You losing sleep upon your beds, man.
And if you look at it, majority of their kingdom this time has been planning to prepare for the NWO. You know, so here it is. You spent the majority of your kingdom. You spent the majority of your kingdom planning, and then when you finally decide to bring out your plans, the Lord is like, nope. You're just gonna start. You spent what 500 years, and then the last 1, 2, 3 years you trying to enact this shit. The Lord is like, yeah, that's enough.
That's like being a programmer. You know, you spend all that time programming a game or like an app or something, and as soon as you start it, it just crashes.
Yo, that shit.
It just starts. You turn it on, it says doo-doo-doo, boom. It just crashes.
Everything.
Blue screen of death. That's what's gonna happen to ESO, man. And everybody that fucking invested, you got people that invested in the programming of a game and stuff, everybody that invested, they gonna be mad at you, man. That's why they gonna narrowly look upon you like, yo, you motherfucker.
We spent all our money, all our time, and that's why I said the nations are mad. Right? We done invested all this, and this is the outcome?
This is it?
Hey, every corporation, every time the investors are pissed, things change.
Yeah, the stock.
Yeah, exactly. They're the most important people, man. Not the workers over there, not the CEO. And guess what? America is a big ass corporation. We're shareholders. They're known as the federal bankers, man. You know, these so-called elites, they have shares in America. Why do you think they were pushing this Vanessa so damn hard, man? It's actually on the stock market. Okay? And people are investing in it. All right, and now they're saying that what? I was listening to the radio yesterday, and they were saying that America just surpassed over 1 million people who died with CV. And they play with the words. They're saying with or of. Because, you didn't really die off because of this,
right,
but you had it with comorbidities, all this shit.
in the head, but you had COVID.
Right.
He died with.
Yeah. And guess what? When the so-called demic started, they were saying these things to inflate the numbers.
Yeah.
But now they try to deflate the numbers, man.
Yeah.
Hiding the VAERS system information. And guess what? It's way more over a million people that have passed from this thing, man. Now people are questioning shit like, yo, that's an efficacy thing? Does it really work? Who is coming out saying, listen, this ain't gonna work. Look, we said you weren't gonna go to hospitals. Now we say, look, you're not gonna go to hospitals, but you're just not gonna die. Oh, you're gonna go to hospitals, you're just not gonna die.
Yeah, they switching up.
Right.
But that's why they want all that power.
Exactly.
On the May 22nd to 28th. That's why they want that power. Because the deception is wearing off. So they gotta get something. May 22nd to 28th.
World Economic thing?
No, it's who. They're gonna do a vote to give who the power.
Yeah. Because the World Economic Forum meeting is supposed to be coming up, I think, this month too.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, this month or next month.
What they got going on?
Well, I just seen, you know your boy Claus. Oh, yeah. He's gonna be doing something. I seen him say that Zelensky, he's supposed to do a virtual speech on here. I think I seen that.
Yeah. At that point, that's it. That's how you know. They obviously Zelensky's a puppet, but he's a puppet to keep Russia's name in there, so they can keep having a reason.
Through the spirit, what I see happening through the spirit is all this aid that's being sent over there is being
Used for something, right?
It's being used as a military NATO type America ploy against Russia, but with Ukraine in the front. Oh, we're sending aid.
They're right on the doorstep.
Boom.
Yeah, right.
Oh, we're aiding Ukraine, but really, when you really look at it, they're militarizing Ukraine, but in the form of aid.
Yeah.
And then they can use it against as a proxy. There you go. Because I'm like, why they sending all this money over there?
Right.
If America is not invested, they're not going to spend money in there, man. There's a reason for that, man.
One way or another, they're putting their weapons or their militarization. That's the
Russia
one
versus
cause.
Ukraine, but it's actually Russia versus America,
Yes.
but with the name Ukraine on top.
Yes. That's the main cause. Russia said we're not gonna let Ukraine join NATO because of that. Right. So they went and did it the underhanded way.
And then now Finland's trying to get into NATO, Sweden also. And Russia say,
I don't go down.
Poland also. Poland does that. Poland gonna be the next Ukraine, man. That's what they say. That Poland's gonna be the next Ukraine because Poland's right on their border also. None of those, I don't believe any of the border countries of Russia was NATO. But now all of a sudden they're just trying to get in.
Belarus,
Yeah,
all of them,
yeah. Belarus, Finland's on top, Russia, Poland, yep, all that. But that's why the Lord said, I stir up the most of the host of battle, because the Lord is controlling all this, man. Remember in Revelation he said that what they shall fulfill my will. Revelation 17 chapter. Hey, you dropped it. He said that I put it in their heart to fulfill my will. So everything that's going on that we're seeing play out in the world stage, as Dabu likes to say, the world stage is really the Lord's stage, man.
That's it.
You know?
They stir up the put hooks into
the jaws over there.
Yeah, that's what he's doing.
And all that's happening, but then you got domestically a lot of things happening as well, man. So either way you look at it, it's just like, yo, there is no. That's why the Lord said when the planes get shot off, they don't turn back. The planes don't stop; they're only increasing like a woman in travail. Once that water breaks, and the water was the word. This word has broke forth. The Lord said, once this word go out to the four corners of the earth, then shall the end come. So this water has broken, and now the floodgates of hell is happening, man.
So you mentioned that there's a precept here, Isaiah chapter 30, it's Isaiah chapter 30, verse 13. It says, therefore this iniquity shall be to you as a breach ready to form, swelling out in a high wall.
That's 30?
Yeah, 30.
So that 8.
No, I got you. I'm gonna finish 13 and 4. Because you mentioned the border breaking forth.
Right.
So it says, swelling out in a high wall, whose breaking cometh suddenly at an instant.
Yeah, and who's breaking? That's what? When they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction, man. You know? Hey, they said what?
Water breaks.
Yeah. We have a main break in the water system. The street comes flooded quick, man. It gets quick. You go dry. The next thing you know, this shit's flooded. Everything gotta get locked off, man.
And it instantly goes from dry to wet and flood.
Right.
Like a dam, it stops the water from coming. So anyone who's on this side thinks it's all good and dandy. But then when the dam breaks, what happens? You get flooded just like that. Ain't no like, oh shit. It's just like, oh shit, turn, and then you already take it.
Can't outrun that water. We ain't outrunning Russian water.
Yep. And like I said, it's a sudden breaking. So you might be standing right next to the dam.
Right.
You know what's crazy about a sudden breaking? If you were watching, it really wasn't sudden. It really wasn't sudden to somebody who's watching that. Because that breaking, you watch the same thing over and over for months, years. You're like, yo, like this is something about to happen. Something about to happen. Keep looking at it. Something about to happen. But then it breaks. But you already gone. You already knew it. But everybody else like, you still talking about that water's about to break. You been talking about that for years. You're going to play around. Next thing you know, boom. So it's a sudden breaking to you. But it wasn't sudden to the person who was watching, right? And that's the Lord willing us. Because we see everything. So that's why when we come out here, we're seeing the cracks of the dam. We're warning about these cracks that's in this dam. But everybody else, because there's no water coming out, like even though right now it's leaking. The food, the baby shortage, that's a little drop. You know, I remember they said like in a tunnel. And that's why I hate tunnels. I remember hearing all this when I was young. They said if you ever see, if you're in a tunnel, you ever see like a drop of water coming down, you're dead. Oh, shit. That means that, because you're in a tunnel, you want to use the water, so that means that there's something came through. So, and that pressure of that water, because a little drop comes, is going to just overtake it. So, so that's why, like, that's what these little drops that are happening right now that we're seeing throughout the, the signs of the times. Those are little drops that the Lord is showing that eventually this thing's going to crack, and you can't repair those cracks. That's something that's like infrastructure. That's like what's it called? Infrastructural damage. Like you can't just we're going to patch this little up. No, that crack is too big. It's too big.
Foundations of the story.
And that's why the Lord said what? We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. So what? Forsake her. We're forsaking this dam. Like, yo, we can't heal this dam. Let's just leave. We're going to be out. And whoever can hear us, yo, let's go. And that's what we're doing, man. That's our spiritual arc that we're preparing.
Hey, you know how sometimes, like I got you. You know how sometimes you got to salvage something Like you might have a car, you'd be like, yeah, it could get me here, but like, you know what? To spend all this money to fix it, I might as well just let them salvage it.
Right,
That's
right,
America right now. To heal it is like, how much money, how much debt is America in? How much corruption? Look at this world. Like, look at America. There ain't no way you're gonna turn shit back. This thing has been building for hundreds of years. To get to this point, since the 50s, America's been doing this decades, man, to get to this very point. And you just waking up to it, you are 2022 late, my friend. You gotta,
No, it's funny. It's funny when somebody talks about America. Like you ask a person, like, "What do you think about America?" Oh, it's just so bad. It's just down the drain. But people don't realize, just like how Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. The America, when we say that, you're talking about yourself.
Yes.
The reason why America, why you have that mindset, is because of the people. You're like that. You're ruined. You're everything just sucks. That's because of you. So the way, and that's why you see so many people are just, when you look at the mindset and how the people like how people are, it's like, yo, these people are gone. So when they say that, when you think about America, we're not talking about an actual physical land. We're talking about what makes America the way America is. And it's the decadency of the people, the morale of the people that says, what, destroy him that destroyed the earth. Always going to the word destroy means the morally corrupt. People's morals are corrupted. So that's like really a looking glass. When you ask somebody, an American, what do you think about America? And they say it sucks, that's a looking glass. You're talking about yourself, man.
Hey, they have decades where they themed it, right? It wasn't because the land was doing that, like the Roaring 20s. You ain't gonna say, oh, well, America was actually roaring like a lion. No, but it was the vibration of the earth, or the vibration of that time of the people. You see? So right now, America is in a state of mourning because the people are in a state of mourning. And that's what the elder just said. Yo, I talked to my mom the other day, and her tone alone was so somber, man. I was like, dang, what's going on? You know? And that's the vibration. Everybody is hopeless. You ask somebody, yo, what you think is going to happen, you know, with Biden and Trump? You know, they're not even thinking about that. They're like, yo, bro, look, I can't even make rent next month. Like, I'm not thinking about Biden right now. That nigga done fucked the whole country up, man. You know, that's the feeling that they have. So the feeling that Americans have now is despair and anger. And those two things, anxiety, yep. And those two things, helplessness, hopelessness, seeing that your government is constantly turning on you. That's why the scripture said there's going to be sedition among men. Invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes. The course of their actions shall stand in their power. You know? So people are going to be making moves based on how it benefits them. Even if it's at your detriment or at your life or your health. You know? And it starts from the top. The government is letting you know, we don't care about you. So start figuring things out on your own. So it's going to just trickle down, and the more things happen, and the more the government shows you that they don't care, people are going to lose it, man. And you're going to see that everything we're saying is true. You know?
Yeah, the brother posted a precept. This is Prince of Yahweh 8. This is Jeremiah 6 and 17. Also, I set watchmen over you, saying, hearken to the sound of the trumpet. But they said, we will not hearken.
Yep. They said we will not hearken, man. Because what does a trumpet sound for? You know, the trumpet is a sound for a warning, man. So if you're not hearkening unto the warning, really, it's like that's detrimental to you. You know, that's not really going to detrimental to the person who's blowing the trumpet. Right. You know, that's detrimental to you. So when you don't hearken to the warning, then when the actual, because when you warn of something, it's not the warning that you should be afraid of. It's the thing that's coming. Right. So we're warning you of something, but that thing is actually going to come. Right. That's what's going to affect you. Right. And they're not thinking about that. So they're just here, yo. When somebody, like, they think that we're crying like it's a bluff call. Right. We're not. The Lord don't bluff. Right. The Lord, they say, yo, I'm about to punch you. I'm about to sneak you. And you just, you can, Lord, like, I'm about to hit you. And then I'm telling you, I'm warning you so you can know how to duck. You duck by ducking into righteousness. That's it. But you're not listening to that eye. So when the hit comes, it's not like you're gonna eat it. But you got that. That's not what it is, man. So you mad at the warning, but the warning, that's literally what it is. Like when somebody say I'm about to hit you, that's a threat, like kinda. Because like they're trying to like threaten you. Right. But the Lord is showing you mercy by, yo, I'm about to send this hit on this place, and if you here, you gonna get got. Right. That's the Lord giving you compassion to give you a head start. Right. You know what I mean? Spiritually, to get out of that place.
Maybe, slow down his wrath a little bit. You get right with him and be like, oh shit, that's what the Lord is doing? Lord, Salaki, my fault. And then he'd be like, you know what, all right, come this way, but these people, I gotta get them. But these people are not listening to that. They've seen the threats of the Lord, And they're like, oh, he's threatening. No, let's go back.
You say you were a man of war. It's like when Leonidas kicked the dude down the thing. That really got Xerxes mad. Because back then, you know, kings were warriors also. So you telling a man of war that he's warning you and you just not taking heed to his warning? This is the God of war. This is the God of war. You're not taking heed to the God of war's warning. Like he's not about to come with wars.
Like that's the theme, man. That's the theme. When he comes down, it's gonna be war. And if you ain't ready, you're gonna get got. He's gonna wipe everyone out, man.
That makes you more angry too.
Yeah.
You gonna take heed to the threat.
Yeah, you know everybody knows who you about. And you tell them, look, tell this guy I'm about to do this. And he's like, who the hell? He's like Pharaoh. This nigga, you lucky I told Moses I'm gonna give him more because man, I would have grabbed his fat motherfucker right here. You know, but go back.
So like that, and that's what the dude told Leonidas. He was like, "You threaten a messenger? That's madness. You'll be destroyed. Your woman would be like." He just started like telling him everything was gonna happen to us. But that's once again, that's a man. You know, that's why the Lord said the Egyptians, they're not gods, but they're men. And their horses not spirit, but flesh. I'm a power, and I'm sending my men, and you're threatening my men, the messengers of my, you're threatening the messengers of my message. My message. So then when I come, now when I see what you did to my prophets, I see how you misused them. What you did to the Lord, the son, Yahweh Shai will come back, it's going to be on. Because you not only disrespected the prophets, you disrespected what they were saying, which is worse. That's why Yahweh Shai said it. They that despise you despise me. And they that despise you, me, despise him that sent me. Which is who? The God of war. Exactly. You want to despise the God of war.
You're waging war against the God of war. That's rebellion. You know?
Because the ultimate, when you send a messenger, it really could go either way. Because when he sent the messengers, it was, are you going to surrender? Or I'm going to declare war on you. Give me sand and water, show that you surrender. But you don't even just tell me now I ain't surrender. All my prophets.
I didn't even come back with a message.
Yeah, I didn't come back with a message. I didn't come back at all. So whoever sent the message, he's coming, and his mindset is, this is beyond war. You know, I'm coming with this is personal. I'm coming with everything, and I'm coming for you. That means when I get there, there's not one word you can say. Your chance was when I sent the messenger. And now that I'm here, that's why it says, many shall say, Lord, Lord, and I'm going to say, depart from me, you workers of iniquity. Because your chance to say, Lord, Lord, is when I sent the prophets. Not when I'm here.
Right.
You see that sign right there? It's a lot, I just quote that. Nah, it says 50% up to, but read the top. You know how they take it up?
Going out of business.
Going out of business. That's America right now. They're
That's
going out
not
of
always going on.
Yeah, they're going out. That's always changing. Always. But America is going out of business, but they got patches to deceive people to say, oh no, business is 50% up. Right. You know, but it says going out of business, but they don't see that part because it's taped. Even though it's there, they don't see it. They only see the business 50% up.
See, they see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
2 Chronicles chapter 36 verse 15. And the Lord power of their fathers sent to them by his messengers, rising up beat times and sending, because he had compassion on his people and on his dwelling place. And that's what the warning is, man. That's the Lord having compassion, you know, telling you to, hey, get right because I'm coming with war. So that's the compassion. It says verse 16, but they mocked the messengers of the Most High and despised his word and misused his prophets until the wrath of Yahweh arose against his people till there was no remedy. And there's no remedy that you can't be remedied when the God of war comes, man. When the Lord's plagues come. It said when his plagues, second Ezra 16 chapter, who shall turn them back? You can't turn back. You can't tell the Lord, no, stop. Like, none of that, man. There's no, it says misuse the prophet. Because what is a prophet for? A prophet is not for to be mocked at. It's not to be debating. It's not to be
Personal therapist.
Yeah, like a therapist, like an amusement. A prophet is literally used to get the word of the Most High before it happens. To tell you, to understand what thus saith the Lord, and how should I move in the time to come so I can be delivered. That's what the prophet is for. But if you're misusing that prophet, oh, now I want to go on the comment board, and you said this and. No, that's not what we're here for, man. That's why the elders say all the time, we're not therapists, not in the sense we're comforting one another, but what we're saying is comforting. We're not comforting based off of how you want it to be. It's not a talk show or like some couch that you just lay on and you tell us your problems. No, we're giving you comfort by giving you the gospel, the good news. So if anything outside of what our purpose is, and you're looking for that, you're misusing the prophets, man.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And it says what? Till there was no remedy.
So there was no remedy.
So there's nothing that can be done about it. When the judgment starts, that 2 Ezra 15, when the judgment starts, once the archer lets go, there's nothing that can be done. The arrow is going. That's it. Your chance is for him to put down the arrow. But once he lets go, that's it. Unless you have a defense. And these people, see, it's like the archer saying, put up your shield. Put up your shield. Put up your shield. And you just standing there. He's going to let go of that arrow and you ain't going to laugh when he comes. So, and we're telling you, look, the Lord is going to shoot the arrows regardless. Let's take this part out the question. Let me make myself clear, right? The arrows are going to be shot. Famines are coming. That's not going to stop. So forget that part. What you can do is, that's it. You know?
Put your armor on. And what the shield is what the shield of faith.
Right.
See? Any other shield, those arrows want to go right through. It's like back in 300 when they shot it, and it was like all the arrows came and they all had the shield. That shield is what the shield of faith. So if you don't got that faith as a shield, it doesn't matter what you put up. You can put up your 401k, you can put up your big ass house, you can put up anything. You can put up your bunker. None of that is going to be able to stop those arrows that the Lord has. The only thing that's going to be able to block those arrows is your faith.
Because you think about it, right? The arrows are coming, and it's not just one. You know, so you may be able to block one arrow, but when you have the shield of faith, it's covering every aspect. That's what this faith does. See, all the things that this world throws at us, we're able to guard with faith, everything. Right. But when you say, all right, you know what, hard times are coming, but the famine is coming, but I'm gonna use my stored up food to block against that. Well, the scripture says, those that escape the hunger, the sword is gonna destroy. How are you gonna defend
How you gonna block that? How you gonna block the pestilence coming this
boom?
way?
And they come at the same time. Which one do you block? Yeah. Oh man.
Because there are going to be some people that's going to escape from the famine based on whether or not they got there might be certain sections of a country, of the city or a state that might get food.
Right.
You know? So they might escape that. But if you got a large section of people that don't got food and they're going toward the small section of people that do got food, well, how are you going to escape the sword that those people are coming with to get your food?
Exactly. Yeah.
And you notice how it's being strategically done, east and west. So they're closing it into the states, man. You know, they're gonna get, the Lord is getting people, bro. It says, those who escape by the sword shall die by famine. So what do you think that's talking about? It's talking about all hits on all fronts. If you don't have that protection from the Lord, like the elder said, which is your faith, you're gonna be thrust too. And it's gonna be a violent thrusting, man. All right, the Most High is about to cook. It's going to be an unbelievable cook.
Yeah, all right. In the book of Lamentations, chapter 4, verse 1. 4, verse 4. It says, the tongue of the sucking child cleaveth to the roof of his mouth for thirst. The young children ask bread, and no man breaketh it unto them. They that did freely, they that did feed delicately are desolate in the streets. See? So at one point you had, the luxury to be able to go out, order this, do this, enjoy. Yep. Fatten up your belly and kick up your feet. Yep. But now you're in the streets. I forgot when it was, but I think it was in Texas. There were people actually going into the dumpsters of like fast food restaurants after they closed so that they can find food, because they were throwing out, when the power outage hit in the I think in the wintertime in Texas, they were throwing out a lot of food and they wouldn't give it to the people. So the people were waiting and going into the dumpsters to try and take out that food. They had to call the cops. So you're gonna have people actually searching. They're gonna say, look, why don't we just search the garbage cans? Now, I've seen that in movies before, because now that's what they're gonna be thinking.
somebody who wouldn't even want to eat leftovers that he had in the fridge because he's like, nah, I like my food fresh, all right? This guy's gonna be saying, look, we might have to eat these dumpsters. They can find a half-eaten apple or something. I mean, imagine that.
And that's where your pride ceases, man. Your pride is you're total. Because at the end of the day, every knee is going to bow, right? So bowing is a form of humbling yourself, right? And it's subservience. And most people, they won't bow. Like they're not bowing willingly right now. You know, they're not bowing. So what is the Lord? But the Lord is coming to take over. He said, "What the kingdom of this world is becoming the kingdom of our Lord." So that means everybody is going to be subservient and bow to the Lord. But the way that He's setting it up, those people are going to be forced to do it through their sufferings. Because you get to the point where you break somebody down, what do? They just break down to their knees. And that's what you're going to see to all these people, man. The famine, the pestilence, the sword. The Lord come back. Then you just on your knees at that point. You're already done.
I come to set a fire here for all my spirit kindle.
You got already kindled.
Quick precept. Here's the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 9, and verse 11. It says, "And they that have loathed my law, right, while they had yet liberty, and when as yet place of repentance was open unto them, understood not, but despised it, the same must know it after death by pain."
Man, that's the till there was no remedy, man. You know, you're going to know it regardless, because He's a God of knowledge, and He's going to make everybody. Guess what? He made Pharaoh know.
Yeah.
See, when the Lord was done with Pharaoh understood perfectly. He understood, like, yo, I can't. Nebuchadnezzar, he understood. They always, his grandson Belshazzar, he understood. And Antiochus, he understood. The Lord's never not going to know. You want to know why this happened, huh? Eliador,
He went and warned the king.
Yo, you got some Indians, send them that way. Send them, don't die. Send them over there, man. But that's how the Lord gets down. He said what? He is known by the judgment that He executed.
Right.
So you're going to know it. But the way you're going to know is going to be after death by pain. Because pain pain and fear are great teachers, man. Why do you think you got nervous system? That's to teach you not to do something. You don't walk in front of a street because you never got hit by a car, but you've seen it or you heard about people. It's very painful. You don't put your hand on the stove because it's very painful. That's a lesson that you're being taught. It's a bad lesson to learn. So we get hearing the message, yo, fire's coming. We know what fire feel like. I don't want to experience that pain. So let me do what we got to do so we can be exempt from that. The thawa, exempt for that judgment, man. But your pridefulness, you don't think, because in your liberty, you don't think that actually is coming. You don't think the fire is going to get turned on, man.
Yes, they don't actually believe, like you said, that the fire is coming. Because see, if you see a stove, if you go to somebody's crib and you see a stove, and you're like, what is that? They're like, it's a stove, don't touch it. But it doesn't look like a stove to you. You don't really believe that it's a stove. So your dumb ass might just touch it and get burned. Now, if you went and you saw like a traditional stove, they ain't gonna need to tell you don't touch it. You know, I believe you. I ain't gonna touch it. So as we're warning them the fire is coming, we warn them the fire is coming, they don't actually believe that it's coming. They're seeing inklings, but even still, and that's how you know it's spiritual. You can't see all these signs with a common sense mind and still say, nah, what you're saying ain't gonna happen.
Yeah. I was talking to some chick some time ago, and I was telling her that America is going to be destroyed by fire. Ain't no other way around it. And she said, yo, I believe you, but I don't want to partake in that. So I started teaching her, and I told her, I asked her, why do you believe everything I'm saying about the fire? Because I tell people about this, and they think it's a joke. She said, look, and she showed me a sign on her back. When she was younger, she said she was walking, and her mom had the stove on, and there was something on the stove. So she was passing by, but the space was tight. So as she passed by, her body got, she grazed the thing. Woo! And it left a mark on her. She said, yo, that fire burn. She said the way her flesh looked after she was like, yo, imagine myself in that. So as you were giving an example of some dumbass might put his hand on the stove, I'm like, Americans might want to go try that. You know, maybe experiment that. You know, like, yo, turn the stove on and put your hand on it for like a few seconds and pull back and see what happens to your hands and how you feel about it and so on and so forth. And then imagine, imagine, look, fire is right here and my ass is in the fire and I can't escape. And the next person that I'm looking at, he's going through worse than me. Am I gonna go to him for help? Hell no. And guess what? The fire is gonna come before the actual fire comes. You see, the Lord's gonna put everyone through that. So you might want to experiment that because maybe the word is not getting to you. So you might have to do certain actions to put yourself in that spirit.
No, but they gonna know it after
They're
that
gonna
5
know it,
days.
yeah.
That's how they gonna find out.
First Corinthians, the 2nd chapter, verse 14. But the natural man receives not the things of the Spirit of Yahweh, for they are foolishness to him. Neither can he know them because they are spiritually discerned.
Yo, when you think about what we're talking about, we're literally talking about a destruction of a whole country. We're talking about intergalactic, realm, interdimensional warfare. We're talking about immortality. This is something that you can't, like, you can't utter like the groanings, but like you realize what we're talking about. And that's why it's like, yo, only a spiritual man can understand this. Only the Spirit of God can understand what we're saying. And that's the Lord in us, because a natural man, like, what the fuck? The galaxy, the world being destroyed. Like,
That's
what?
not natural.
Yeah, that's not.
Fire
Yeah.
coming from what the fuck?
What are you talking about? UFOs coming destroyed it. Like, y'all, like, I can believe it, but it's like, that's just crazy. But to us, it's like, this is mad normal. Like, like it's like, yo, like, this is really normal. But that's how you know, like, yo, we're not of this world, because when you're able to, like, be able to subjectively, or I should say objectively, look at what we're talking about, you know, like, yo, this is not something that nobody else will be talking about. This is not from this realm. Nobody knows what we're doing right now, what we're talking about right now. So them, they just seeing us like, like, what are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? Like, what are y'all doing right now? Like, but what we're doing is something that's like so far beyond all that they look for.
Right. You can't comprehend it.
You can't.
Now that you put it like, that, it makes a lot of sense. You gotta imagine how great it's actually gonna be when it manifests. Because if it's on such a high level that talking about it alone is too much for people to comprehend, how much when it actually happens? You know, like, you're talking about immortality, you're talking about like interdimensional warfare. These are the things that when you talk about, they go over people's heads so much. Yeah, movie stuff. So what do you think they're gonna do when they actually see the manifestations of these things that we're talking about?
Live and direct.
On the Chariot.
Oh yeah,
It's bugging.
Yeah.
But and that's, even with that, that's like, because I was far, you know what I mean? To him, it really just looks like big orange glow, like you know, big orange light. But when you see them things come low, it's like, yo, what the fuck? Like, you can't say anything other than like that's not from here. Like, what the fuck is that? Because you got somebody that sees that same video and be like, oh, that's fake, or you know, like, oh, that was like, yeah. But when the Lord comes to serve, that's why it says that then shall that righteous man stand in great boldness in front of such as have afflicted him. Because like, we already have the mind of this happened. Like, this is reality to us.
Right.
This is already, we don't know what the chariot looks like, but we know it's not like normal.
Right.
You know what I mean? So when people see this, like the orange bulbs and like orange, like different colors, something, it's still far away, so that they can't really interpret what that really is. But once it comes and the Lord has all this like majesty, like was it Isaiah 63 is coming in, traveling this great ship. Once that happens, people's heart are literally going to just like might burst in their heart and their bodies, man. Like, they're like, what? Right. Like, awe. And people say, I'm in awe. That's what they want to be. Like, like, they might just, you see the movies, like, something happens, like some great destruction, people walk up to it, like,
Right.
and then drop it. That's what people are going to do, yo. They're going to be mesmerized. Like, They just walk into it. Yep.
Not knowing what to think.
Yep.
You know, and that's why because it says that they are spiritually discerned. Like you said, this is normal to us. You know, just like how we see things that these people do, and we're just like, what? Why? How?
Transgender birth, uterus.
You folks did that.
Try to explain that to somebody at work, and we all got confused.
Right.
I said it was a man that became a woman.
But
But then, you know, it's like, but he got pregnant, but it was
It
actually
was
a
an
she.
X, but that became a Y.
And he said, wait, what? I said, hold on, my fault, hold on. I'm confused myself. Then we started laughing. It's like, all right, fuck it, let's not even talk about it.
If they try to, because they'll actually sit down with you and try to make it make sense to you.
Yeah.
But to us, we're like, what is this? So when we try to explain our realities to try to make it make sense to them, they're like, what is this? And that shows you that we're at a cut of a different cloth. You know, we're literally of another spirit. You know, what we understand and believe, because it takes one thing to understand what we're talking about, but it takes another thing to believe it. Because you can explain to somebody what we're talking about, and they can say, okay, I see what you're saying, but now to tell them that, okay, now that's actually going to happen, and they believe it, that's a whole other thing as well. So the Lord didn't give us just understanding and knowledge, but faith to believe the things that we are learning and understanding. You know, so putting all that together, that's why the position of the elect is going to be where they're at. Because our minds were there before our bodies. You know, the kingdom, our minds are in the kingdom before we actually get there. Our minds are in the position of the ruling class of the greatest kingdom ever before we are actually in that position.
And this is us in our base state.
Right.
So when we get elevated, everything's gonna get better. And women are in the base state. Look how women move now.
Right.
Some women be mad. You be like, damn, she pretty as hell. You know, she bad as shit. Like the world will say. You know. So imagine the kingdom, man. Imagine the men of the Lord in the kingdom. Imagine the whole entire nation of Israel in the kingdom, man.
Man, that's something that's like very, like almost unbelievable. Man. To know that our women are going to be in order and be like their minds. Scripture says, "Blessed is the man whose woman is like basically they have the same mind as him."
Right.
You don't even have that.
Right.
That's something low.
Yeah.
Like that's a very low thing to have your woman like, in the same be in accordance with you. Like, yeah, if we don't go here, yeah, we go there, baby. They don't want to eat this shit, I want to eat that too. They're like, you can't. Everything is a fucking disagreement. Yo, go. Yeah, I'm gonna go to the store. Yeah, make sure you go left. Now you go right. Nah, we go there.
Right.
Yo, we gonna get to the same spot. You just never want to lay there. But that's like that's the fucking curses. Like that's how low we are, man. And that's why like it's a comforting to be in a spiritual mindset, because you're not going back to what we said before, you're not too overly charged with the things of this world. So even like the arguments, even though that shit can be vexing, even the arguments you get in with your Eve, it don't really affect you to that level mentally, because it's like, yo, this shit don't even matter. Like that shit don't even. You can have a hard day at work. You get pissed, but like shit, just waiting for the shit to get destroyed. Right. You know, like anything. You might be low on money. This shit don't even matter, yo. Because it's like it's all temporary. So when you really know that everything is all temporary, why would you put so much energy and spirit into something that's temporary? You want to put your spirit and your energy into something that lasts forever. But people don't do that. People don't have anything that they really believe in that lasts forever.
Right.
Nothing that people believe in this world is something that they believe will last forever. That's why the Lord said it, heaven and earth may pass away, but my word shall never pass away. So you can literally give your everything to this and it will be valuable, because you're putting your everything into something that's going to be eternal. I got a precept. 2 Esdras 2 verse 10. Thus saith the Lord unto Esdras, tell my people that I will give them the kingdom of Jerusalem, which I would have given it to Israel. You got people to say, oh, see, he's talking about the other nations. No, he's talking about Israelites that were of a no people. Going back to Hosea, with Rumah and Lo-Ami, those are the people that the Lord said that I will give. He said, tell my people that I will give them the kingdom of Jerusalem, which I have given, which I would have given to Israel. So then if this ain't talking about Israel, then who's the Lord's people? Because there was never in anywhere in the scriptures where the Lord called anybody else his people. Even when he mentioned, but if he said Egyptians or Egyptians, my people in Egypt, or my people the Egyptians, he was talking about Israelites that were there. that were in that Egyptian state of mind, which we were. We were those people that were Babylonians, that were the Egyptians, that were Edomatized, as the chief used to say. We're Edomatized, right? They traumatized, Edomatized. You know, verse 11. Their glory also will I take unto me, and give these the everlasting tabernacles which I have prepared for them. They shall have the tree of life for an ornament of sweet savor. They shall neither labor nor be weary. And when you go back to the tree of life, that was given to what? The first son of God. The first Yasharala, the Yasharalites.
Right.
Okay, that wasn't given to all the other beasts of the field. That was given to a family.
Right.
And that family was supposed to stay in that order that the Lord gave unto Adam, and they were all going to have that tree of life. And that tree of life gave you what? Immortality.
Right.
That's why when it goes back and says that man wasn't meant to die, that was talking about what? Starting from Adam and his lineage. Because you had other people out there, but they didn't have the tree of life. They didn't have access to the tree of life.
Right.
So that's why it says, they shall have the tree of life for an ornament of a sweet savor. They shall neither labor nor be weary. Because that's what? Paradise. In the kingdom, we ain't going to have to labor. We're not going to be weary. Remember, that was a curse that the Lord gave unto Adam. That by thy sweat of thy brow, thou shalt till the earth. X, Y, and Z, you should get the fruit of. Everything is supposed to be just given to us. The food, the nourishment, everything we needed was supposed to just, that was the old world. But because Adam fell, we had to now go through the straight. Verse 13, this point says, go and ye shall receive. Pray for few days unto you, that they may be shortened. The kingdom is already prepared for you. Watch. And that's why we're always in the future, man. That's where we're at. Because as a man of the Lord said, I declare the end from the beginning. So as a man of the Lord, as a prophet, you're always thinking about the kingdom. Because why would you going to think about this where this is leaving? This is going out the window. The way that this society was 3 years ago, it's about to end.
It's about to fucking end. People don't believe me. They look at me like I'm crazy.
Yeah.
That's the spirit.
Yep.
You know, all of us.
But see, Jake know, but they don't. Jake know but they don't understand. They see, but they don't perceive. It's about to end. So what does that mean for you?
Exactly.
How do you go about it?
What does that mean for your little son? Because you know how it's going to, you know what's going to happen. It ain't going to just be the lights off and everything just ceases. It ain't going to be the Thanos. It's going to be a slow death, man. It's going to be painful. You're going to experience things that you have never experienced in your life. You don't even know how to comprehend to experience that. That's how this ends. It ain't just, it's going to end. You can't talk about the end of the world as if you've known like what this looks like. Oh, it's about to end. The end. The world's about to end. Like, oh yeah, it's like it's going to the fucking a movie that's about to end. Like, no, you don't know what this means. You don't know what this looks like.
In Matthew 24, it talks about intolerable anguish before the advent of the Messiah. So it's a time like never before, intolerable anguish. Like if something is intolerable, it's hard to bear. Yeah, and anguish, that's pain, suffering, sorrows, everything balled up in one. No breaks whatsoever.
You said it'd be more tolerable inside of the water. It's more. You got people turning to salt. like sulfur, like brimstone. It's still to this day brimstone over there, man.
Yeah,
it's still to this day a salt mine. And that was just a city. 5 cities, which wasn't even as wicked as it was here, man. The Lord said, if I would have went to Sodom, I believe that's what he said. If I would have went there, they would have repented. They would have repented. See, now the Lord is here because we're preaching in the spirit in the name of Yahweh Shai, man. So the Lord is here. That's why you have people that are repenting, which is the elect. But majority of people are not repenting, and therefore, because the Lord is here and you're not repenting, it's going to be more tolerable in Sodom and Gomorrah than the destruction that's going to be here, man. Because we're in the spirit of Yahweh Shai, we're ambassadors of Yahweh Shai, we have the word of Yahweh Shai, and you're not repenting.
I had a quick testimony because in my apartment, people's packages have been going missing randomly. And
my shit just got stolen too. Yeah, I bought some sneakers and this shit never came, yo.
Man, so he was telling me something that happens.
Damn.
People just going around jacking people's shit.
Yo,
And if you don't have a surveillance camera, you're gonna be tight because at least that you can track who did it. You know.
So I don't know, like, if it's somebody in my building or somebody that's getting into the building and just taking people's packages. Because this was last weekend. I think this lady, my cousin said he went out earlier and he saw a lady like talking to somebody at an apartment or one of the apartments, and she's going on and on about how somebody stole her food. Because she got it delivered to her. And her package was open. She left it in the hallway with a note basically saying, you, whoever did this, you know, fuck you, because that was my food for the week.
Oh, damn.
So that's just minor. That's literally just minor. Like, this is not it. Nothing has happened. Nothing has really started, right? And people are already probably in situations that we don't really know yet, where they probably not making enough money that you're not getting that point A to point B like they used to. And I was just thinking like, yo, like it's gonna be crazy the magnitude of like what people are gonna be going through, what extent they're gonna go to you know, survive. But not only that, when the judgment comes, it's gonna be heavy. And I was thinking about the movie War of the Worlds around the same time. I turned on the TV to play my PS5. And I was like, nah, let me just watch the movie instead. And they added War of the Worlds. So I'm looking at this and I'm like, nah, this gotta be some type of lineup. Because it's going from people's packages missing for like a week or two, and then it's going into me seeing the judgment that's coming. So I feel like people are not even ready, man. Like, I don't know, just a combination of those two things made me really think that people are just gonna be thinking about measly things in the world to just survive every day. Things that they attach to. But when those ships come, man, you're gonna be turned into dust.
And that's the last of the plague. Remember, it said everybody that fought against Jerusalem shall be hit with this plague. But the Lord said He's sending plagues upon the people. You know, and the thing about that is, it's like people don't even realize that they're getting plagued now. You know, that's why it said for all the scourges they should not be mindful of. So you're not being mindful of the scourges. Because you're still like you got them, you got the government telling you, oh, there's a shortage because of the supply chain and of that and this, so that you're trying to rationalize, oh, this is only happening because of the supply chain shortage, or this is only happening because there was one of the plants got shut down. No, it's not. That's very micro to the macro scale of things and why things are happening. It's happening because the wickedness has greatly polluted the earth. The Lord is visiting the earth which He made. So that's why when you understand, all right, these things are happening because the Lord is doing this, your whole mind changes at that point. Because when people say, oh, the end of the world is happening, but why is that happening? What are they going to say? They're going to say, oh, because God hates the wickedness that's going on. Nobody says that. Nobody says, they say, oh, because the government, the people that's in blah, blah, blah. They try to put the blame on somebody else, like we're Biden. It's Putin's problem. It's Putin's problem. Putin is saying it's NATO's problem. NATO is saying, no, it's everybody's problem. It's the wickedness of this world's problem, man. So that's why it's touching the whole multitude thereof, man. Nobody's escaping outside of the elect. You don't get to escape and not serve and not fear Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua.
Yeah, because if you pin the problem of just like a supply chain shortage, then your mind says, well, once they get that fixed, then the problem goes away. But if you understand that, no, this is not just because of that. The both sides deliberate, then you understand, oh, so this isn't something that we can fix. This is something that's going to happen regardless if we try to fix that or this.
Right.
It's going to happen. So then you go into the mindset of, I can't wait this out. I need to escape this. I actually need to escape this.
Yep. Because that's what they said about the whole image. Oh, we just got to wait it out. 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Everybody just locked down this, join in the hand, be united. 2 weeks. We'll be out of this. It's 2 years later. And you got more variants
worse
coming up.
things, yeah.
Worse things coming up. somebody just died instead of from the bird flu? Was that a Virginia or somebody had it?
Yeah.
You know, which we had that guy said that the bird flu was going to be way worse than the Emic, man.
Yep.
So that whole situation, though, we just gotta wait out the Emic, we just gotta wait out the Crown Royale, and then we'll be good. Well, now you in a whole another realm of SH shit hitting the fan. There's something now totally different that you're thinking about now, man. And on top of the still the Emic.
That is supposed to be worse than the reason why you got locked down in the first place. So what do you think is coming next?
Right.
Like, it's like when you say you hiding underground, and I saw this scene, I forgot where, I think it was in the movie you did a video years ago, Shock something?
Oh, Aftershock.
Aftershock, yeah. And I think there was a scene where they were in a tunnel trying to come up, like they were seeing if it's safe to come up. Oh, and the judgment, yeah. It's like hiding in that tunnel. You're like, yo, I'm gonna go in this tunnel because things are getting bad, and I'm just gonna wait it out. And then by the you wait like 2 years, then by the time you stick your head out, shit is worse than it was when you went in the tunnel. Oh, I'm gonna wait out another couple months, and you can come up again. And now you just, you know what I'm saying? Somebody might just take your head off like in the movie.
Yep. And there's no mercy because the lady that got her head taken off was an elderly lady. So there's no mercy. That's why the Lord says slay utterly, old and young. Anybody that doesn't have the mark, you getting the other marked. You getting marked for death. So the death angels, they don't care about. There's no age limit in the immortality. Oh, that's an elderly woman. That's just a vessel. It's just an older vessel. The spirit don't age. So we're just gonna take you out of that. You've been in that old vessel being wicked for this X amount of years. So now you're being judged for that. That's all that. You're a baby. You've been in a new vessel for X amount of months, but you're still wicked, so you're getting judged for that.
Right.
There is no mercy when in the time of judgment. In the time of judgment, there shall be no mercy.
Really, the bodies are a construct for us humans today. Because a spirit in a baby's body will receive sympathy in the world. A spirit in an older person's body will receive sympathy in the world. But a spirit to the Lord is just a spirit. You go get that work based on what that spirit did in that vessel. So that's the judgment that's coming. There ain't no exemptions. The scripture says nobody died it being innocent. Perisheth being innocent. You know? So people gonna get that work. A lot of babies gonna die based on the famine. You know? A lot of grown-ups gonna die based on the freaking the sword.
A lot of parents gonna kill their babies.
Right.
Not even purposely, because you got to look at the whole shortage going on. You got parents trying to make their own formula. That's how far removed we're from regular life, where you're not even trying to make your breast come out with milk. You're trying to be a fucking chemist and make a formula for a baby. And they were saying that if you try to do that you're not going to have, the baby's either going to have insufficient amount of nutrients, or the mixture is going to end up maybe giving the babies like seizures and shit, because their vessels are new. So it's like whatever they need is like, it got to be real pure. That's why you're supposed to breastfeed, because they're coming, they're getting fed from where there's being formed at. So you really can't be bad unless you like drinking or you put harmful toxins in the body. So you have a lot of parents that are going to mistakenly kill their children, and what do you think that's going to do? That's going to cause them to become even more angry, because it's like, yo, there's a shortage, and I couldn't get it, so I try to do it on my own. I try to be there for my baby, and I couldn't do it. They're going to be mad at the government. Don't let them find out that somebody else had extra, because they're going to be like, you killed my baby.
You know, people be doing that panic buying. Like when they started buying toilet paper and stuff like that. So once they find out that a spot got resources, they're gonna jump all on it. You know? Yes, sir?
Romans 9, verse 15. For he said to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. So then it is not of him that wills, nor of him that runs, but of Yahweh that shows mercy.
There you go. So ultimately, and that's why people act like we're so evil, because we're saying judgment is coming. Judgment is not going to touch anybody the Lord doesn't want it to touch, and nobody's going to escape judgment that the Lord doesn't want to escape it. So if we say death is, a lot of people are going to die of this, you can't say that. No, yes we can. The Lord is going to do it. Because if we don't say it, is it going to stop it from happening? No. And if we do say it, it ain't going to stop it. want me to? Exactly. Yeah. Nice to know it's all here.
Hey, and that's why it's a serving the Lord with fear, because he says it's serving the Lord who shows mercy. You can't tell the Lord to give you mercy.
Right.
Like you can't force the Lord. I mean, you can ask for mercy, right? You can beseech him, but you can't force the Lord to give you mercy. So it's on the Lord who determines who gets mercy or not. But the thing is, how the Lord set it up, it's the ones who desire the mercy that is going to get the mercy. And the ones that are going to do the things that are pleasing in order for him to give mercy, they're going to get it. And that's why it's a blessing to be in the truth and to know the will of the Lord, because that's a mercy. That's why I say I beseech you by the mercies of God to present your bodies as a living sacrifice. It's a mercy that the Lord is allowing you to present your body as a living sacrifice. It's a mercy that the Lord is like, you know what, I'm making you a prophet. When he did to Ezekiel, he had his wife died. Esdras had Isaiah had a prophesied naked. All those things happening, they might have been like hurtful, but guess what? It was still a mercy that the Lord even chose him to be a prophet. Because now when you're getting for that affliction, that light affliction that you had to get, I'm giving you the eternal life, the kingdom, calling you one of my sons. I have pleasure in you. So it doesn't even matter really at the end of the day what you go through, because nothing that you go through is going to be equal to what I'm going to give you. And that's why Paul said that. I'll get stoned, I got naked, I'm doing everything, man. I'll do whatever, because at the end of the day, it's all not comparable to the glory that I'm going to get when Yahweh Shai returns. That's why Yahweh Shai even went on the cross. And before he died, he said, give me back the glory that I had from you from the beginning. So everything Yahweh Shai went through, he understood it was worth it. To be on the right hand of the Father, to never have to experience this again, to never go up to have the kingdom, the kingdom of heaven on earth, his own kingdom, all that was worth it to get to go where he went through, man. So that's the mindset that we have through the Spirit, man. And everything that we're going to go through now, Lord willing, the Lord keeps us from it. But even if we have to die, that's the Lord said it. Be faithful unto death. Death is not even comparable. You can't say, oh, all right, Lord, I died. I'm good now. Like, but that's how people look at things. They try to measure up what is this worth here. But we are watching the kingdom, and what the reward is later, and that reward is not comparable, man. That tribulation that we're going through now is not comparable. So we're willing to go through whatever we got to go through. Even when we go through it, we probably won't be in the kingdom like, oh, we still work. Go back, I do it again. I'm just joking. If you want me to, I would. I know what I'm. That's why he said, what is hope for something that you've seen? It's not hope. So because that's why the end of your faith is salvation. You receive the end of your faith. That's when you get saved. So at that point, your hope, the faith is completed. You don't need to have faith anymore, because now you know what it is, man.
I was just gonna make a point, like what you were saying about like basically sacrificing and willingness to be humiliated or go through hardships, knowing that the reward is worth it. That's what a lot of celebrities are basically doing when they sell out. They're willing to give whatever it takes to get in their position. The rapper Nas, he has a song, I think it's called "You're the Man," and he rapped about drinking his own semen. And at the time, people think he's just spitting bars. They think it's like, oh, it's Nas. He was actually talking about certain rituals he had to go through to get his position. He said something about drinking his own semen. He spoke about drinking his own urine. He spoke about rituals where women were doing like weird shit with pentagrams and orgies and stuff like that.
That's crazy. You mentioning that, my bad. I was just about to mention DMX. The shirt says DMX.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, shit. And because DMX, when you talk about sacrificing and like basically selling your soul, he had a song said, I sold my soul to the devil and the price was cheap. Before DMX got on, I just seen it recently. There was an old video of him rapping in the grocery store, and he was rapping. He looked like a teenager. And his name, he said Divine Master of the Unknown. So his name was Divine Master of the Unknown. But when he became a celebrity, he turned to Dark Man X. And I'm like, why don't you go with Divine Master anymore? And I'm like, so when we got into the industry, he sold out. They told him, you have Dark Man. And everything he always did the blood talking about blood sacrifice and all that stuff. I'm like, yo, that's crazy, man.
I think it was the first bar on his second album. He said, I got blood on mine because I effed the corpse.
Oh my Lord.
We're gonna close it out, man. Giving all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh,
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, B'Kapadash.
Hey, till next time, shalom to the elect, man.